You and I just fight
No, there's a reason Ted's not allowed to drink.
on the show.
Yeah, because when he drinks, he interrupts you, and then we go to the bar, and you complain about Ted. Yeah, it's fine.
It's a vicious,
Oh my
it's a vicious
God.
circle.
Yeah, it is a vicious. I mean, it's this. I mean, you just came in, you complained about me texting. I don't understand how I'm a weird texter.
Okay. I say what time we're going to start. And you say, I can start any time after 4:30. You say, okay, how about 5:30? I go, earlier better for me. Your response is, eat the shit. What do you have going on? A circle jerk after the show? And that's it. That was his
I
response
think it was just being micro.
but I don't know what it meant.
It was, it was like a little micro.
So I was at work, so I just let it go.
Yeah.
And then an hour and a half later, or 2 hours later, you respond to the text with a time. Meanwhile, I made plans. Anyway, it's a long story. But that was your response.
How is
Eat the shit, period.
Not a shit, just
No,
the shit.
the shit.
okay? I mean, this is very self-explanatory. Number one, I wanted you to eat the shit. Number two, I wanted to know if you wanted to start earlier because you had a circle jerk because I was going to invite myself.
See, this is where you mix business with pleasure. See, we're talking business. We're trying. I'm at work. We're trying to figure out what time we're going to get to the studio and start the show. And he's telling me to eat the shit.
So basically, everyone's just a jerk off. Is what I
don't
heard. I don't know. That's the conclusion I've drawn.
So here I am thinking, okay, should I start this next job because we're starting at 5, or should I not?
Decisions.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I had a very difficult day today.
Okay, yeah.
I started at noon. Okay, I started at noon, and I had to work for almost 52 minutes.
That's
today.
insane. That's insane.
It's this weird schedule.
Who do you work for?
So it's a weird
Scrooge
schedule.
McDuck?
And then on the first Wednesday of every month, school is only in session from they go to church. They do the church thing for like 3 hours or 4 hours. Don't ask me, Ted. Don't ask me.
I wasn't going to.
Wait, so the kids do a church thing for 4 hours?
4
every day?
hours every Wednesday. And
Oh,
then-
That's a
yeah.
lot. That's a
Right
lot.
now it's Lento. It's
wait.
Lent.
no, I think it's every Wednesday.
Wait, I thought
It's
we were,
Lent. Oh, it isn't.
No. This is not a seasonal thing.
I thought we were separating church and state.
Well, not at a
what's going on?
Catholic school. I
Oh,
work at
okay,
a
yeah,
Catholic
yeah,
school.
I get it.
That's the last
I
thing.
thought we were separating the men from the boys.
So, okay, so this is the conversation I have with 3 little kids. Okay,
I was going to say
I'm
3
trying
little
to.
pigs.
I thought he was going to say that too.
No, I'm trying to get them to understand that practice, like in sports, if you practice in sports, you get better. So if you practice math and reading, you'll get better at that. I'm trying to
Practice?
use
Unless
practice.
you're
using
Allen,
that analogy.
Let's talk about practice, man.
Unless you're
Talk
Allen,
about practice.
unless you're Allen Iverson, then you don't get better in practice.
Right.
So maybe you got to
But-
play
Well,
him
you're
that
supposed to
spot.
say practice makes progress.
Right. I never say perfect because I don't like to use that word.
I know.
So I'm doing everything I can to get that point across, and I'm like, I use sports as an analogy, and I'm like, well, if you guys played baseball, you wouldn't be great at hitting the ball the first time you play, and of course they all say yes, I am. So I'm losing. It's like third grade, so I'm losing them immediately. Where
You lost the locker room. You lost the locker
They're
room.
already awesome.
Yeah.
They're already awesome. And then finally I'm like, well, I go, and then the one girl goes, Messi, and she says that. I said, yes, right. I said, when Messi was little, like you guys, he wasn't great, and he
Yeah,
practiced
actually, he probably
all the time.
but he probably was already. He just needed to get
No,
better.
pretty sure he was.
No,
Pretty sure
those
he was
guys are
more
the
than-
hardest
he was born that
practice.
way.
Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
They're the hardest
Messi,
workers.
they're the hardest
at their
workers.
skill, yeah.
Joe Klein.
Right? That's why they're Joe Klein. So that's why they're so great, right? So I said nobody is great. They have to practice, and they've used this on me 10 times, maybe 20 times. God, and I today not paying super close attention. I went, well, how about real people?
Oh,
You did not.
No, I did not. But I was just like, what the
Oh,
fuck? And
thank
so
God.
here's the
Get
problem.
it? Thank God.
Every time I say anything, they just go God. I'm like, oh, you know what? You got to work hard. Well, God didn't. I'm like, okay, well, God's fictional, but yeah. And they just
No,
keep-
you tell them that's why God created you, so He doesn't have to work hard.
so he can make you do it.
Yeah.
But
so
they,
he's
yeah,
delegating.
Yeah,
He's
I couldn't get that concept. That, yeah, and again, every single time. Oh, and then we talked about
The
we were talking
Lord
about,
empowers you to do things.
we were talking about reading, and I was talking about biographies, right? And I'm like, oh, if they write a story about your life, a real story, and they go, oh, Diary of a Wimpy Kid. I said, no, a real story about a real person. And I'm like George Washington, Martin Luther King, because we just had Black History Month, right?
Hugh
They go-
Hefner.
They go, yeah. I go. So that's a biography, and was of course every single class, the Bible, and I got it. Well, the Bible is stories, but and then I don't know what to say. Then I just stop because it's
that's hard.
Yeah, because that's all they do for everything.
For an atheist who likes to drink.
Well, you should do. You should
I don't like to drink.
You should do the opposite psychology. You should say you're right. Because you could just use this analogy. You could just say, okay, let's just say we're going to take a 36 handicap golfer, and he's going to practice every day. We're going to get him custom fitted for clubs, and we're going to get him private instruction. And you're right. Chances are he's probably still going to be a 30 handicapper a year from now. So my advice to you guys, just be mediocre or below average. Live in your parents' basement for the rest of your life on government cheese and complain.
Why does every story circle around you, Ted? It always circles back to you, your life.
I wasn't using any names.
I know.
But, yeah.
They didn't get the messy practices analogy. They're going to get live in your basement and be a bum.
Why don't you bring me in there?
That's their life's goal, Ted. That's their life's goal.
Yeah.
Right now, when you're in third grade, if someone told you that you could live with your parents for the rest of your life, you'd be the happiest child in the world.
Well, I'm just saying, bring me in there as show and tell, and just say, kids, this is what happens
Jesus
when you don't practice enough. And then it's called Scared Straight. Remember the show Scared Straight? Like the kids, they were juvenile delinquents, so they took them to real prisons, and they had the real inmates kind of like get in their face and threaten potential sexual assault.
Wait, hold on. So the kids would just watch you get drunk and be like, I don't ever want to have alcohol again if I'm going to be like him.
So you know what they call
That's
that?
Actually pretty good.
You know what they call that instead of like bring your dad to work or bring your mom to work or show and tell? They call that bring your mediocre friend with no prospects to school today.
Bring a drunk to work day.
No, like it'd be like Scared Straight. Like, oh, so little Habib, whatever your name might be. So.
Well, they have to be straight. It's a Catholic school.
Okay,
here's
Scared Straight.
But here's the funny part. This is kind of funny. There's a guy, one of the teachers, he's clearly batting for the other team. I mean, he's clearly he's
that's cool.
Yeah,
the Cubs.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with that.
And no, but it's funny that he's in a Catholic school, and when he wants the kids to be quiet, this is one of the things he does. Right? He goes, all the single ladies, and they all stop and go, all the single ladies.
Well, obviously it works because he got their attention immediately.
Yeah, but and then so he's got like 4.
I like this guy.
He's got he's super nice guy. He's got like 4 different songs, and he'll sing, and it's the funniest songs ever. Sure. And the kids will say he'll sing one line because he sings and dances. He does that.
Oh, he's got that little.
No, he does weekends.
Oh,
yeah.
He's like
Oh, he's a singer and a dancer.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
Does he wear tap shoes to school? That would be great. That would be awesome.
Yeah, so he incorporates that into his teaching regimen.
I do not know
so that's
that.
Good.
Yeah, but so he sings a song and then they sing the next line, and I was just like, "Oh my god!"
You should ask him. You should say, "Do you know how to tap?" And if he says yes, I've tapped. You say, "Wear your shoes to school," and you could quiet the class without saying a word. Because if they can hear your shoes tapping, they're good. If they can't, they're too loud.
That would actually. I mean,
that would be pretty cool.
I know when my aunt was a teacher. She could play the guitar. She played piano and guitar, and she taught like second grade or first grade, and she would bring her guitar in, and every day she would play.
Is your Aunt Dolly Parton?
Yeah, kids love that stuff. Kids love that stuff.
Yeah. Oh no, it was really cool.
But what do you do for the rest of us who have no special abilities or skills? How do you
motivate?
How do we get kids to comply without having
clap,
special?
Ted? Can you clap?
No, he can't. He can't even remember. You know what? Ted would be the greatest teacher of all time because it'd be like he's like, Mr. Ted, are we supposed to be doing math? And he's like, I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
Math. Yeah. Oh, what about the other subject? You mean reading? Yeah, that one. Yeah.
No, just do the reverse college. Just say, hey, you know what? You're right. You don't have to read or write anything. Just see this is the Ghost of Christmas Future, and then just show like a picture of like a guy on Skid Row, what he looks like when he's like 50 years old, drinking a bottle of Richard's Irish Rose whiskey. Just say, hey, this guy, he didn't have to read or write either. He didn't have to do anything, and look at him now. So
you know what?
He's really successful in life.
I'll tell you what. For all the kids,
keep up the good work.
Yeah, for all the kids out there, just be thankful Ted's not your teacher. Yeah, you don't have to do anything. Okay, and then they don't. Ted,
can I ask you a question? Are your parents immortal?
Yes, they are to them.
That means?
Ted, until I was like 25, I thought I was immortal.
So when your parents pass away, unfortunately, one day, and they're not there to support you
sooner than later,
and you get thrown to the wolves in the real world, all those things that Mr. Thiel told you in your class that you basically disregarded, you're gonna wish you took him up on it. But hey, you know what? It's your life,
kids. One day your parents will be dead.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's how you start every sentence. Yeah, that's you know what? I should probably start every class, regardless, like kindergarten through 7th grade, with All right, boys and girls. I hope this is a good day for you and your parents haven't died already, but they will be dead someday. Yeah.
You should every every story you tell should be about, okay, guys, my friend Ted. You should use Ted as an example for everything. Just like
Without mentioning
remember
my name, actually.
No,
But
Ted.
Ted.
Remember my friend Ted? Remember I told you about my friend Ted?
The alcoholic.
Do you guys want to be like Ted?
Let's call him Mark.
Yeah.
Let's replace
Sir,
Ted
did
with
you
Mark.
mean the alcoholic or the shitty golfer? And then the other kid will go, he's both, dummy.
All right, we could say Mark Ted.
We can just use Mark as an example.
but
You know,
he's
I mean,
talking about you, but
I
he's
get-
just going to use
I'll
my
tell you what,
name.
kid. I'll do you a favor. I'll help draw the little poster sign you're going to stand on at the corner or the free overpass where you have a long-winded thing about why you need money or you're hungry and you need food. So I'll help you write that since your writing skills are less than desirable. So I'll give you a head start in life. Okay.
Oh, you're going to be a writing teacher. Good.
How to be
This
a
is
professional
why I
cyber
want to be a
beggar.
writing teacher.
Oh my God, Ted! You know what? It's funny because I always
Handwriting.
I always feel like we all have a gift, right? And some people follow their hit their stride and are really good at what they do.
Did you say grift or gift?
Yeah, it is a grift. But man, all the people that give me shit about having summers off and having a pension and all that kind of stuff and stealing money from the taxpayers, I'd love for them to spend 1 week trying to do what I do. 1 week. Yeah. In front of a whole bunch of little kids and not saying the word fuck, shit, or tell them their parents are going to die. Yeah.
Or inflicting corporal punishment, which of course is
It really did. Matt was always my summer friend until recently.
Yeah, he was just your Wisconsin friend.
He was
your 1 weekend a year friend over Father's Day weekend.
Right. So it took me a long time to really know that you weren't bullshitting everybody that you were a school teacher. I always thought that's what you just said because you didn't have a job all summer.
Or he was an architect.
Something.
He's
I
an
just thought, I'm
architect,
like, there's no way this guy's
like
a teacher.
George Costanza. You're an architect.
This guy's a part-time bum. What does that mean? During the winter, he's a bum, and he doesn't do it during the summer, so he can golf.
Right.
Yeah.
He
No,
winters
if I
in Florida.
Yeah. No, the gag was that if I had we'd be talking and we'd meet new people, and the gag was if I had $1 for every time we'd talk for like an hour, and then somebody go, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" I'm a teacher. And you go, "Really?" Yeah. That just like
told
that.
you, I'm not
They have to
kidding
do it exactly. They have to say that word, and they have to be like, "Get the fuck out of here! You're not a teacher." I go, "Get the fuck out of here! I am." Bro.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy. All right.
See my teaching card?
Your union card, sir.
I don't have it. You know what? I don't think I ever had. I don't think I carried mine around. I don't
Your
think I needed to.
credentials?
My credentials. Like
your
anybody
your-
gave a
your
shit.
CV.
You don't get anything special.
Carry your CV around your.
Yeah. You know how long it took me to figure out? Because I had the same job for 25 years. I did not realize that a CV is a resume.
Yeah, I think it's called curriculum vitae or something like
Yeah.
that. I'm not sure what the. Yeah, it's basically your resume. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your
But I
credentials,
didn't
yeah.
have one for
Right.
forever until I quit and tried to get a new job, and I had to come
Right.
up with a resume. But yeah, I didn't know what a CV was.
Yeah. Well, since
I
there
didn't
was-
even know what that meant.
There's a gap in your resume. Just say you were in prison. That way, your employer will know where you were for.
Oh
the
no.
last 25 years.
Somebody asked me. I said long-term coma.
What is a CV? I don't even know.
It's
Did
just
you
a
say-
resume.
Yeah, it's
just a
called-
fancy
it's
word
called
for a resume.
Curriculum vitae. It's basically another word for resume. It's
Yeah.
but I think it lists like your additional credentials, not like where you went to high school, but like what your job expertise. Like if you were like hiring an expert, say structural engineer, their CV would list who they work for and who they consulted with.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's an academic term. I think it's a CV if you're getting a job as a professor or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what they call it.
Yeah, or you're hiring an expert.
All right, let's get the thing rolling.
Stuff we don't have to worry about.
Stuff none of us
This
have to worry about.
is the Real Three Idiots podcast, and happy National Oreo Cookie Day.
I thought you were going to say something else.
What did you think I was going to say?
I thought you were going to say Happy National Orifice Day or something. I don't know why I thought that.
That's tomorrow, Ted. Today is National Oreo Day.
Yes.
Do you guys try other Oreos besides the standard Oreo?
Yeah, the
No.
double.
I
the
knew you
dou-
would say that. I fucking knew you would say that.
Double stuffed one.
Yeah, so I did not know this. Here, peanut butter Oreo. Would you have it?
Yeah, I would try them all, but I would
Okay.
never go buy them.
All right, Java chip.
What?
Java chip.
It's like
Oreo?
coffee. It's like
Java
coffee.
chip or
Coffee. Flavor.
Thanks, Ted.
Okay.
For everyone in the planet who didn't know what Java is. Yeah.
I wasn't sure.
Excuse me. Man, I got it. We've all had mint. I did not know this one. Birthday cake.
I try. I mean, it's a little sweet, but
Yeah.
yeah.
We've all had double stuff, right?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's just the Oreo with twice as
No,
much
I know
filling.
what it is. Yeah.
So are you
Twice
guys?
as
But,
much.
but are you guys like? I like to take them apart and then tooth out or eat out the.
Yeah.
I knew. You know what? I didn't
just
know how
eat
to
it.
say it.
Lick
no,
the inside
I like to
clean.
lick the inside clean
like
and
a
then
lo-
put the
like
two
a locust,
sandwiches.
like a locust that just is on a corn stalk. It just picks it clean, and there's just the stalk
Yes.
left. Yeah, that's what he does
Yeah.
with an Oreo.
You know,
cookie.
That's what I
something
do.
just came up about Oreos the other day, and I can't remember what it was. About somebody I met knows somebody that eats them funny or doesn't eat the center. They just eat the cookie.
Then just get a different kind of cookie.
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah, that seems.
So
Because
they have-
most kids would eat the center.
So
out,
do they have like
right?
a popsicle stick to
I
scrape?
think so. Most
scrape
kids would eat
away-
the center and throw away the
Yeah.
outside.
Scrape away the middle. You know, like a popsicle stick to scrape it away.
I just use my teeth.
Okay. So
I did. I mean, I guess you know what though? I'm pretty sure if I'm by myself, I will take them apart. But if other people are there and I eat an Oreo, I won't because I don't want to be judged.
I don't think I can eat Oreo without milk. That's the only way I've ever eaten them was with milk, and I just eat them like a normal cookie. Dip it until it almost falls apart in the milk, and then
that's good for a
I
Chips
love
Ahoy.
that.
That's good for a Chips Ahoy.
Yes, it is.
cookie.
That's
For Chips
exactly
Ahoy.
what I was
Yeah.
going to say.
A hard Chips Ahoy, not the chewy one.
right.
Oh, I hate the chewy Chip Ahoy. But yeah, you freeze the Chip Ahoy, and then you dip it in the milk and get it not quite mushy, but man, then you take a little bite with
I do
all
that
the
with coffee.
mushiness and a little bit of the hard part. Oh my god!
Kelly freezes the cookies, and then I take them out of the freezer, and I do that in my coffee because it doesn't fall apart. It just gets like warm.
You dip
Chocolate chip cookies sometimes, yeah.
in coffee?
Mm-hmm.
I've
I
never
drink my
thought of
coffee black, so it's pretty hot. So you could do that. I just do if we have cookies, we rarely do, but if we have one in the freezer, I'll do that like in the morning. I'll grab like one cookie and have a cookie for breakfast.
I haven't had cookies in years, actually.
that. Shut
It's been a
up!
while. Seriously, I don't even eat that stuff
All
anymore.
right, I'm not making
I don't
cookies.
eat that stuff anymore.
Yeah, I used to eat that stuff.
I
all the
saw
time.
what you ate. You on our trip, he forced us. We stopped at a pizza place. We had to take some pizzas back to the place we were staying, and Teddy had to the meat lovers.
Pizza.
And you know what? I
you
didn't.
had to.
I didn't like it. Actually, you know
of
what?
course you
I
didn't.
didn't like it. It was too much.
Oh, it's way too
But
much.
what you got was good. Just the sausage and the mushroom.
Right,
That was
because
very good, yeah.
because listen to me, you can't have more than 2 things on a pizza.
Well,
That's it. That's the maximum
yeah,
amount
it
that,
didn't- it didn't taste
that
right.
makes
Yeah,
a pizza
it didn't
taste
ta- it
like
didn't taste
something.
right, you know.
Yeah, if you put like 5 things on a
Yeah.
pizza, it just doesn't taste like pizza anymore. It just tastes like a whole bunch of shit.
I was thinking of a Geneva meat monster. I thought it was going to be equivalent, but
Oh
it
my
wasn't a
God.
Geneva meat monster.
That was
Actually, this pizza was called the Monster too. It was called the Rosati's Monster. So that was kind of ironic that they both had the same.
They have
name,
good
so.
pizza Rosati's. They're out in Arizona too, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's where you have,
Yeah, but
it's a
the-
great place.
No,
man.
but like a deluxe pizza with everything is usually good, even like from Domino's. Yeah, but this one it didn't work. It was like they had stuff below like the cheese, and it just didn't taste right.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's just
yours
too
was,
much.
Yours was better.
Yeah,
This
That's
is
why you
been-
most of it.
This has been Arizona Pizza Talk.
and our new Rosati's owes us money now.
Yes.
Yeah, they absolutely. Oh, I just killed a bug. Yay! All right, it's time for Teddy's tips. Marquise,
Did we even do the intro?
I just
That
did the
was-
intro.
that was
I'm
it.
going to make it
was a long-
shorter.
It was a long intro.
I want to make it short.
long.
Everybody knows who we are,
A lot has happened since you guys have been gone.
but everybody knows who we are.
I stopped drinking. I've been to the gym every day.
Wow.
I cured cancer, and I'm writing a paper right now on a solution for world
Are
hunger.
you trying to date us?
Oh, so everything except the stop drinking is true?
Yeah.
So is that like when the guy gets he asks a girl out to the prom and she rejects him, he goes to works out, he becomes really buff, and and then he comes back like 5 years later and says, "Look at me now, you could have had this." Is that what that was, Mark, right there?
No, Ted, that's called a stalker.
Okay.
Yeah, that is
It's not anything like what I'm saying. I'm
that is-
basically saying I became a better person since you guys have been gone.
So we should just stay gone.
Oh, because we weren't
Just
here to
take
force
it.
you to drink?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, screw you. Teddy and I were drunk every single day.
Actually,
yeah,
actually, the
it was
funny thing,
horrible.
the funny thing, during golf, we actually didn't really drink at all.
You did?
Not that much. Not that much.
You did. Teddy took no. Listen to this. So Teddy buys a couple of bottles of Crown, right? And he goes, and the one day he takes it. I go, Teddy, we should just not drink, right? I mean, at least till the afternoon. And he takes the bottle. He goes, I'm not going to drink this until the second 18 we play.
This is like the third day, though. I
Yeah.
mean, I had like half a bottle, but yeah, I mean, but on the first couple
You
of days,
ready?
I don't
You
think I
ready?
drank anything.
After the first 18 holes, it was gone. Yeah, it was gone.
Nice.
Yeah, and I'm like, Teddy, where's that bottle? And he just pretends like he doesn't listen. And I ask our buddy George. I go, Georgie, where's the bottle? He goes, oh, it's gone, long gone.
Alligator ate it.
Yeah.
I didn't golf good that 18, by the way.
No.
Mark,
Sorry.
they have dinosaurs, not alligators in Arizona, man. Come on.
All right.
All right, sing us a song.
We have
The
a
Piano
sponsor?
Man.
There's no sponsor?
Song first. I'll do the sponsor
Oh,
after.
that's right. All right, you ready?
Changing things up.
Dirty shirt, new shoes. Ted don't know where this is going to. Silk tongue, a black lung. Ted don't need a reason why. They come listening just as fast as it rips. 'Cause every listener's crazy about the great Ted's tips. Don't watch Teddy sing. You ain't missing not a single thing. His golf swing hits the pin. When Ted puts out, he's gonna score a 10. They come listening just as fast as it rips. 'Cause every listener's crazy about the great Ted's tips.
Oh, that was really good. You put there was a lot of panache.
ZZ Top, baby.
There was a lot of panache in that.
Yeah,
Oh,
I love
wow.
ZZ. I love me some ZZ Top.
Yeah,
man.
yeah, we were jamming. We were jamming some serious ZZ Top on the golf course this weekend. I was very excited about that.
Nice. Texas Blues.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's kind of like, yeah.
All right. Let's see. Ted's Tips is brought to you by Brokeback Steakhouse. Brokeback Steakhouse is the only place in the world to offer tube-shaped steaks, chops, and ribs. At Brokeback Steakhouse, we stand behind every piece of meat we serve. You'll come with an appetite, but we guarantee you'll leave stuffed. Leave the wife and girlfriend at home, grab some friends, and try something new. We won't tell.
Man, that used to be the Outback in Park Ridge.
There's still an
Now
Outback.
it's-
There's still an Outback.
now it's
Now
the
it's the
Brokeback.
Brokeback, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
it's a Brokeback now.
Oh,
Yeah, I think they're closing all the. I think the guy who bought all, or the guy who came up with the
Bought the
idea for
chain.
Brokeback,
Yeah.
bought the Outbacks
Oh,
and
I
turned them
see.
all into Brokeback.
Yeah, they got rid of the Bloomin' Onion. Now they got the Bloomin'.
yeah. It's not even like Australian. It's supposed to be Australian themed. It's actually not Australian at all. They just
I
put
mean,
it Australian.
I think
theme.
you know what? I think it started as that, and they
Yeah.
were more Australian-ish.
Yeah.
And then they just got away from it because nobody gave a
yeah,
shit.
but they're not from Australia. It's not like they're special. It's
Right,
not like
but-
Wagyu beef from Australia or something like that. It's just they just have that theme. That's their shtick. But they're not. I don't think there's no roots in Australia.
Ted, you know Bed Bath & Beyond? You know there's nothing beyond your bath, right? That's it. It's just, I mean, there's nothing beyond it. It's just the bedroom and the bathroom stuff. Yeah, there is no more.
There's no secret door to Narnia. That's what I thought the Beyond part was.
No, Kmart is just a mart with the K in front of it, Ted. There's no trick to it. All right, Teddy, are you ready
Yes.
for your tip? Yes. Man, this is honestly the best tip I ever saw. And
But you say that every week.
No, this is the best one I've ever read. Okay, you ready?
All right.
Ted, I need your help. My boyfriend dresses like a slob. It's nothing but T-shirts and sweatpants. And by the way, we call that tedding. It's one of the other definitions. It's a new one.
Nothing wrong with that, but go ahead.
I need him to up his game. He does not need to wear a suit and tie, but he needs to move on from the middle school gym teacher look. He's in good shape. Well, he's opposite of you, and has the money to buy nicer clothes. It's just too much. Camille, 27, Toronto, Canada. Go Argonauts. I did not know anybody even gave a shit about that.
Yeah, that's a CFL team, right? The Argonauts. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Toronto Argonauts.
Hey, Camille. Yeah. So I mean, like I said, without knowing the details, I don't know how long you've been going out with this guy. How
Who gives a shit?
How serious you are. Okay, look. So he wears T-shirts and sweatpants. I mean, are they clean? Are they pressed? Is the hygiene good overall?
Hold on.
Pressed.
Yeah. I mean,
Stop,
not pressed,
stop,
not pressed,
stop,
but
stop.
freshly laundered. Freshly laundered.
No one sends out. No one takes their sweatpants to the dry cleaners.
Freshly laundered. Freshly laundered. Yeah.
I'll need those sweatpants.
Yeah,
starched,
I mean,
please.
does he dress up a little bit like if you guys went to like a halfway decent restaurant? I mean, or is he,
Clearly, he doesn't, or she wouldn't even give a shit.
well, we don't know that because we don't have information. Maybe he dresses that way in his everyday life, and that's a nuisance to her. But maybe he quote unquote ups his game, and he's a little more presentable depending on where they're going out.
Then
in
why would
public.
she complain? So
Well,
hold
you
on
know,
a second.
because-
Why would she send us this letter if he dresses shittily only when they're at the house? Because what do you care, right?
No,
If I'm wearing shorts,
Let's assume that his entire attire is just sweats. And,
Okay,
Yeah, let's assume
that.
that.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, here's what you could do.
Good
Maybe
assumption.
for Valentine's Day, birthday present, it doesn't have to be a special occasion. Maybe since you, I'm assuming, can find out or know his pants and shirt size, maybe you could just casually buy him some nice, a couple of pairs of nice slacks, golf pants, a couple of collared shirts, and just gently say, hey, I'd like to see us, be a little more presentable when we go out. But realistically, that's probably him at his core. So that, that's what makes him comfortable. I hate to say that. So I mean, he's always going to probably revert back to that. So I think the more important thing is he a good guy? So let's just look at it this way. There's some nice guy. There's some guys out there who are really nicely dressed that are horrible boyfriends or potential husbands. So so kind of be careful what you wish for. So if he's a good guy overall, he takes care of you, and maybe that's not the worst thing in the world. But yeah, but like I said, just for that purpose alone, maybe you can just go on Amazon or even go to Target or Walmart and just get him a couple of pairs of slacks. You don't have to get him like custom tailor suit at Brooks Brothers or anything like that. Or
no, she
Men's
says
Warehouse.
she doesn't want that.
Yeah, just like jeans. Maybe skinny jeans. He's only 27. Maybe he's about the same age as her. But yeah, just there's plenty of TJ Maxx, Marshalls.
Skinny jeans.
Yeah. But I'm saying there's plenty of clothes out there that are cheap where you can get it for him. It's kind of like a quote unquote present. Just say, hey, maybe when we go out to this place, blah blah blah. Hey, maybe you can wear this and just see how that goes. And then if he doesn't take to that, maybe just have a gentle, talk with him and just kind of explore the psychology about why he dresses that way consistently. My guess is he just finds it comfortable. Maybe he's comfortable in his own skin and he's not really worried about what the outside world thinks. I'm assuming he doesn't dress that way at work unless he obviously
You don't
works
know
from
that.
home. Yeah, I don't know that.
Let's assume he does.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's assume he has a job where he's working from home then.
Okay, so
Or he's a gym teacher.
maybe he's a gym teacher.
so at
Personal
no
trainer.
point and I thought you would mention this. Maybe buy him some slacks, right,
Yeah.
and some
Yeah.
maybe nicer T-shirts or whatever.
Doesn't have to be expensive.
And then take all his old shit, take all his old nasty T-shirts and sweatpants, put them in a pile in the yard, and just douse them with lighter fluid and burn that shit.
Yeah, you know what?
Do it.
That's
Step
got
up.
a fatal attraction
Yes,
vibe to
that
it.
very
so
much
I
so.
mean, yeah, it's got a fatal attraction vibe. I would.
She's
recommend.
not threatening to throw him in there. She's just saying,
but
that's
dress
crazy.
nicer.
Yeah, but you know what? That's next on the list. Usually, if it starts with that, then the next thing is we're gonna put you in the yard and put kerosene on you if you don't comply with my next set of instructions. So yeah, so you probably don't want to go that far because that indicates.
That kind of seems like a stretch.
Well, no, not really. It starts off small and then
It starts off by burning people's clothes,
Yeah.
and then the next thing you know, you're burning them.
Well, it starts off, obviously if someone's unstable enough to burn someone's clothes, regardless of whether they agree with it or not, the next step is, well, maybe we'll just burn down your house. If you don't, so, I mean, things don't exist in a vacuum, right? They start off small, right? Like serial killers, right? Serial killers start off with
killing animals, like
animal
stray
torture,
strays,
animal torture,
I agree.
lighting fires. It's called the homicidal triangle. We'll get into that some other time, but yeah. But
Ted's right. Next thing you know, car bombs. It's a whole fucking. The shit's gone to hell.
Apple iTag.
So basically,
AirPod or
okay. So basically, she could buy him some new stuff, burn all his shit.
because he's not capable of buying new stuff, right? If she
Well, no. She buys him some nice clothes,
Yeah.
some slacks.
in
and
addition
stuff,
to what
right?
he already has, yeah.
No, and then burns all his old shit.
Okay.
And that just puts him on notice that he's 2 steps away from a car bomb, and that he needs to follow.
so he'll comply.
And either he'll be like, hey, I can just wear this, and won't escalate past that.
Yeah.
Or he can try to escape. Go to his panic room, whatever, and we'll see what happens.
I will say this. I agree with Ted, by the way. I think that she should just fucking leave him alone. If he's a great guy and there's nothing wrong.
If he's a great guy, yeah.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with making a suggestion, like you don't want to. I mean, why?
Or buy, like I said, buy him some clothes. The simple thing is buy him some extra
you don't wanna
clothes.
go to
But what if he changes? Like, what if she buys
What
him
if he
these
becomes
clothes,
classy?
becomes this total dick, like some uppity up guy now because he's a
And
fancy
they-
dresser,
and
and,
they-
he ends up dumping her.
Wait,
And
because
he
he
dumps
wears
her.
some slacks
Yep.
Yeah.
from
Hey, dude,
Target.
Believe me, that's
hold on.
life changing for some people.
Yeah.
So you're saying
It could change his whole
A
attitude.
collared-
He could become a different person.
Yeah.
The clothes
collared
make the
shirt.
man, Matt.
the collared shirt and an $8 pair of not sweatpants from Target would change his life.
Next thing you know, he's giving advice. He's like,
He's a consultant. He's a
starts a
consultant.
financially
podcast. Starts a podcast with 2 of his lunatic friends.
Maybe he upgrades his wardrobe, then he upgrades his girlfriend.
Yep.
That's all Mark's saying.
Be careful what you wish for,
Careful
man.
what you wish for.
Oh man! So if he's a good-looking guy,
Gets into modeling.
Yeah.
yeah, and he walks in with he's one of those guys. Oh, you know, I've always wanted to be. I've always wanted to be a guy who wears a T-shirt and like a sports jacket.
Or
Yeah.
another T-shirt.
Yeah.
A 2 T-shirt guy. You ever see those guys?
I don't.
Double up on the T-shirts? That's a fat guy move.
Yeah, I don't
Because
want
he
to be.
sweats so much.
Yeah.
Like, I know a friend of mine who sweats a lot. He
Good
wears
point.
2
Yeah,
T-shirts.
good point.
He's a
Really?
big, heavy guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to be fat.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't want to be 2
No,
T-shirt guy. but-
PHAT fat.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah.
But I've always wanted to try. I mean, I just don't think I could carry it. But yeah, the guy, I don't want to say have skinny jeans, but you kind of almost
Like
have
Crockett.
Not
Like
skinny
Crockett.
jeans, yeah.
Yes.
Like
yes.
Don Johnson.
Yeah, like Miami Vice.
Yeah.
I want to be Don Johnson.
Well, here's
I
the
want to
thing.
roll up my sleeve. I hate rolling up
You
sleeves.
got
by
to
the way.
lose the
Ugh.
socks.
Well, okay, here I'll put it to you this way.
I don't have to wear socks.
Let's just say there's like something like an art gallery or something where they're having like a fundraiser. There's obviously like a well-to-do class, and let's say I walk in dressed like I am now with sweatpants and a t-shirt. Obviously, I'd get
Which
some
is why this
without saying a word. As soon as I
tip
walk
was
in, they're
so
going to
funny.
look and they're going to judge me. Obviously, and let's say
But they're going to be right.
but let's say I walk in a $1,000 tailor-made custom suit, and without saying a word, I guarantee you their perception would be 100% different. All those things being equal.
Well, of course.
Without me opening my mouth.
Okay, and Ted, if you
of
did that
course.
and I was there, I would literally shit in my pants, and then they would have a very poor feeling about me.
Of course, I'd have a rented.
You would think Ted had a twin brother.
You know what? I would.
Yeah.
I'd be like, Fred?
I'd of course, I'd have a rented Alfa Romero too. Like a brand new 2024 Alfa Romero.
Is that what you imagine a rich guy drives?
Well, I mean, one of the
Piece
cars.
of
Yeah.
shit.
I do. Honest to God, though, I do now that I'm driving that 8-year-old Mercedes around.
Mercedes
It's an
AMG.
8-year-old.
Mercedes
It's an
AMG.
8-year-old.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
an 8-year-old Mercedes. But now I'm driving around. I look at all the cars that are better than mine, and I'm like, oh man, one day I want to spend $100,000 on a car.
One day I'm going to get a new Volkswagen.
A really nice one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
And
just,
drop cash for it too, of course. Pay cash.
I
for
think
your car.
I think I'm going to buy used cars from now on. I
Okay.
don't think I want to buy a new car anymore. I think I want to cash. I think I want to do cash used car if I buy a new car. Yeah, I don't necessarily.
2-year-old car. Yeah, it's about the
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Unless
should buy
it's-
one of those new flying cars that Elon Musk is making.
Oh man, dude, if
In
he,
China, right? Aren't they in China right now?
I don't know what's going on with that.
they do have personal flying vehicles.
I know.
They do. I've seen it. Yeah, I don't know if it's from
But
from
but they're
Tesla.
not. They don't like a car. They're
They're
more
like a
mini
drone.
helicopter,
Like
thing.
a
Yeah,
drone.
like a
They're
giant
like
drone.
drones,
Yeah,
yeah.
I've seen that in China, but I don't think it's affiliated with Elon Musk. But that wouldn't
No,
surprise me.
they stole his technology, I believe.
Okay.
Or they did. There's something. There's some tie there to Tesla.
Everybody steals everything. I mean,
Yeah.
come on.
I'm sure people independently come up with this idea. It's not the first. This has been talked about during the George Jetson cartoon. Flying the flying car. So, I mean,
Speaking of Elon Musk, I have a question, Ted. When did he become a thing? Do you remember when? Do you remember a time like let's
Before Elon Musk,
before anybody knew who the fuck this guy was?
yeah,
I have no idea.
sure. I mean, when Tesla first, I think, went public, and then obviously he was always in the top 5 of the world's richest
Was
men.
it like 10, 12
Yeah.
years ago?
Yeah, probably. And then here's
So
the,
in 2000, we didn't know.
no, of course not. But here's the thing too. When you have, here's the bottom line. When you have $1 billion, you can say you're uncancelable. You could say whatever you want.
No. That's
Wait, was
not
he
where I'm
born
going.
with $1 billion?
No, I think his family was well to do, but obviously he through his genius, he obviously has multiple companies, and he obviously did it on his own. But yeah, I don't think he came from a poor family. But the point is, yeah, when you're already rich, and I think he made most of his money through the Tesla IPO. Yeah, and then pretty much you can, and then he ended up buying Twitter, which is now X, of course. Yeah, you can pretty much do what you want. I'm not saying everything he says is correct or accurate, but he has that platform to do that because, like I said, he's one of those people in the world that are uncancelable. Because who's going to cancel him? I mean, he's not going to get.
Yeah, what are you
get fired.
talking about?
Well, that's what I'm talking about.
Well, I was gonna say something.
Go ahead.
I'm asking you a question.
Sure. Yeah. Well, but to answer your question, like maybe 2000. I don't know how long he's been around.
So like there was like a point where all of a sudden nobody knew who he was.
Correct.
And then everybody knows who he is, right?
Yeah.
Because like you said, I think Tesla's the first we heard of him. So
Yeah,
now all of a sudden
sure.
this guy does something that is absolutely impossible. Not only does he create a new car in the marketplace, he manufactures a new car, which is basically impossible.
That
in
is
the world.
really hard to do.
It's hard to
But he
break
made
into
an
the.
but he
break
made
into
an
the market.
electric car.
Yeah.
So this guy brings an electric car,
Fully electric. Yeah.
that-
Fully electric.
First of all,
car.
that they said that would never happen.
Yeah.
Let alone have standalone your own fucking model, right? Make and model is Tesla. I own it. It's electric. Here it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
And it took off.
Yeah.
And there's millions in the world right now, right? Then the guy fucking makes a rocket.
Yeah.
Signs a contract with NASA. Every astronaut with NASA is flying in a fucking SpaceX rocket, right?
Yeah.
Signs a contract to send
Neuralink, which is the brain implant.
that. But
Yeah.
so he's got a car, he's got a rocket. Then he goes out and buys Twitter and renames it X.
Right.
So here's a guy that starts a car company.
No.
Starts with-
Actually, you ready? I got it right here. He founded a company in 1995 called Zip2. It was let's see, provided maps and business directories to online
That's
newspapers.
right. Okay, yeah.
4 years later, when
Yep.
he was 24 years old, 4 years after starting Zip2, Compaq bought it for $307 million.
And then he started getting into the car thing.
Yeah.
So he does that. He gets into the car thing, starts a fucking space company,
Yeah.
building rockets for NASA.
Sure.
He's contracted I think by 2 years they're going to send, astronauts.
Well, he
up
wants to go to
into-
Mars. He wants to go
into
to
the
Mars.
moon.
too.
Well,
He wants
into
to
the
go to
moon.
Mars. He wants
Wants to go to Mars.
too. Yeah.
Okay. So this guy is uber smart, right? Like
Yeah.
a 1%er intelligence level. This guy, if you gave this guy all the parts, he can make a computer and sell it, and it would work. If you gave him all the parts, he could probably put together a car, make a car, and make it work, right? But he couldn't do that with about a bunch of people, right? He needs like hundreds and hundreds of people in warehouses and
Well,
shit.
yeah, there's too
So-
much to
Right,
all
so
that
he's getting
stuff.
all this done. Then he goes out and he buys Twitter. Why the fuck would he buy a social media and then name it X?
You know why?
Why?
Because he can.
No,
No,
there's
no,
more
no.
to it.
Yeah, there's more.
No,
to it.
no,
I
it's-
think it's more
it's
freedom
to
of
have
speech.
the-
I've been thinking about
Yeah.
this today. I'm like,
Yeah.
because why would somebody who could do anything, has more money than anybody, why would he also want to control what people say and do on a social media network?
What?
I don't know.
But you just answered the question.
I'm not.
I mean, he literally has control. Number one, he has the ability to say anything he wants now in a giant social platform.
but he doesn't care about that. It's not what he cares about.
I-
That's not his passion, man.
No, I
the
think-
guy is.
I think part of
he's
it-
special,
but-
he does not care about
Yeah,
what
but
people
part
think
of it
him.
is that he needs his narrative out there at all times. He needs his ego stroked at all times.
I don't think so. I think this is a guy that doesn't give a shit about anything because he could do whatever he wants. He's already proven
But
it.
this is what he's.
No,
But
I
then
don't
why is he
think
doing
so.
this? Then
I think
why is
he's-
he
I
doing
don't.
that?
That's my
But
question.
what we're answering, we're trying to answer the.
Yeah,
we don't know
I
for
think
sure.
I
We
think
don't know
there's
for
more
sure.
to it than that. I think once you start to get that power, I mean, it's the same reason that Donald Trump wants to be president.
Yeah.
There's no real reason.
Why does
right?
a multimillionaire?
But you
Those
just
are
want more
two different.
power.
Those are two different.
Right, but it's,
people.
it's the
No,
same
it's more
concept.
power,
It's the
more
same
control
concept.
and more power.
Why does a multimillionaire or a billionaire run for pay a million or $1 billion out of their own pocket to run for a job that pays $415,000
No, that's
a year?
different. That's different. That is
don't
what
think
I
so.
think you're right. That is a power trip. I think they do want to have some sort of power and recognition. This guy's on a different level than any politician or any person.
He's still a little. I mean,
This is a man. He's already figured it out how to get to Mars. It's just a matter of time. Why
right,
the
but
fuck does
there's
he
a lot
care?
of shit going on in his head, and honestly,
He's microdosing ketamine, right? I mean, guys like that. Those
I don't know,
high-functioning
man.
guys.
No, I don't
Well,
know.
to
I think
stay
it's
up,
a
to
power
stay
trip.
up,
I
yeah.
think
So
once
you
you get
guys
a
think
taste,
it's a power trip?
Yeah, I think
So I
once you
haven't
get a taste
researched
of
this
that,
at all. I don't know anything about the man other than what he's accomplished
Yeah.
and what I hear and see. I've never read anything about it. Never read anything he's written. I've never seen a piece on him. I saw the 60 Minutes they did like 10 years ago on him
Yeah.
about the Tesla
Right.
thing.
Well, I think just look at the psychology. When you have all the money in the world and you've basically maxed out, whatever goals you had, you blew through all those goals. I'm sure he still has more goals, but the point is, what's really left other than just
ultimate control.
ultimate control,
But
power,
he has,
respect.
So he has all these
respect,
things
so-
going. I mean, SpaceX is huge, bigger than Tesla, way bigger than Tesla.
Right.
He's got a boring company too, I guess, like drilling into the.
Yeah, so
earth,
he's all these
Is it
companies,
really boring?
all these companies are running on their own now, right? Because he
Yeah.
can't possibly make decisions. I mean, I
I
know.
mean, you put managers in charge of all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But I'm
can't
telling
figure
you,
this
man,
guy out. I was thinking about today. I'm like, what is a guy that can do anything and has done
look at
anything
Jeff-
want to do with
Well, look
social
at
media?
Jeff Bezos with Amazon. He's got his own space company too,
Yep,
called
I know.
Blue
Yep,
Origin.
yep.
Why is he doing it? He doesn't have to. He could just basically sit on his money and never be heard from again. But he's
Total-
doing
What is his
complete power.
fascination with fucking with space and leaving this country?
Well,
leaving this world.
no,
I'm
you know
sorry,
what?
it's the
So-
country. No, leaving this world. Yeah,
So
I mean that. Yeah.
they're building a new space station. They're going to crash the one they have. They're going to crash in like 2030. And by the way, it's available for sale. We could buy
like a
that.
studio.
Yeah, we could buy that we could have our own space station because they're not going to crash it for like 6 more years, but they're going to crash that
The one
into the
at
ocean.
Cape Canaveral.
No, the space station. It's up in the sky.
The space.
Yeah,
the international.
Yeah.
The
They're
international
gonna sink
space
that one,
station.
you know.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they're gonna bring that back in the atmosphere. They're gonna crash it into the ocean. And I'd be more than happy to make a bet with you that it lands in a very populated place. But that's a whole different thing. Okay, they're gonna build a new one. But they're talking it legit. So they've got a couple of things going on. They're looking for people to spend 20 years out in space, and they're getting people to do this. Okay, that are going to volunteer to just go. They're not going to come back.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're called
They're
the
gone.
pioneers. They're called the original pioneers. Yeah.
Yeah,
You gotta
they're
send
gonna be gone.
Somebody out is going to have to take one for the team, and like I said, they're not
Take one
coming
for the team.
They're not coming
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
But they're talking about putting colonies on the moon.
Yeah, I
They're
know.
talking about being able to do that on the Mars, and they're setting legitimate like dates and goals for these things.
Do
to
you know
start
how long it
happening.
would take to get to Mars?
7 years. 7 years.
So what? We've been doing this show for 2, so 3, so 5 more years of this show, and they'll be at Mars.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which
I mean,
is-
they got something to listen
Which
to
is
now.
an inhospitable climate, so I'm sure wouldn't
Well,
it
it's
be
going to be a domed environment.
right? Yeah, I was gonna say you have to have some type of like eco dome or like a eco dome like in space, almost like a huge space station that could
The
have
Polyshore Biodome.
be its own
yeah.
own ecosystem.
No, it's literally they
Yeah.
use that. They use Biodome. They use
Yeah.
the Pauly Shore movie Biodome
Okay.
as their example of how it will happen. It'll be everything like that, just without Pauly Shore.
That was right.
None of his
That's not
movies.
far from where you guys were. The dome,
Oh, there's a dome in Arizona.
Oro Valley, the original. That what do you call it? What the fuck? The sphere. The
Okay, so Teddy and I land. We drink in the airport.
biodome.
We
The
fly.
original-
We
the
drink.
biodome
We get
is-
there. We
is a-
drink. We golf. We eat. We drink. Then we leave.
I heard that.
Yeah,
There-
we didn't see
Ted,
it. Yeah,
Ted,
we
did you
didn't
see
see
any?
it.
Did you see any tourist traps? Did
I
you
just
see any?
I just saw a golf course.
Yeah, did you see
and a
any,
pizza and a
yeah.
pizza.
I heard that the new space station is going to be that old guy from the movie Up's house. It's just going to be a house up there.
I've never
like a
seen that
treehouse,
movie.
treehouse in space.
I've never seen Frozen.
You're-
I've never seen any of it.
I've never seen Frozen, but you haven't seen Up?
No.
You're a communist. All right, let's move on. What else you got?
Whoa, why? That seems really mean. All right, so I was thinking about this because I had to share a room with Teddy today, or not today, last couple days.
Oh, you guys have been back. You're
Okay.
still sharing a room with them?
Yeah, still, and
You're still shacking up?
and so I wake up in the middle of the night, and Teddy's not in the room. He's sleeping on a couch, and I don't know what the fuck he's doing. Okay, but I looked
He's
at this
sleeping
stuff.
on a couch.
Yeah, but he was sleeping in a bed,
Oh, and then he moved to the couch?
and then he moved to the
I
couch.
got
and
trouble. I got trouble sleeping
then
sometimes.
he's
I don't
back
want
in
to
the
disturb. And plus,
bed.
the bed when you move in this like bed, it's a small bed. It like squeaks a lot. So I didn't want.
Oh, it's not a masturbating bed?
Exactly.
It is,
like
but then
pr-
it's
like
a
prison,
everyone
it's like a
knows
prison
you're
cot. It's like a prison
masturbating
cot
bed.
with those old-fashioned springs that goes.
Sure. Okay, I
Yeah.
got you.
But then I looked this up, and I found some things that are reasons why people don't sleep. And I'm going to go through these. I want to see which ones Teddy might do, and then people listening, it might have a friend or it might be you. So these are the big ones that really keep people from sleeping. Number 1, late night screen time.
Yeah, probably. Yep.
Probably what?
Yeah, I'm probably guilty. Whatever you're about to list there, I'm probably guilty of. Probably most.
No. I'm asking you.
Yeah.
Is that
No, he does.
Yeah,
He said
I'll
yes.
agree. Yeah.
okay?
I agree with that.
Hydration.
Yeah.
If you're not drinking water,
Yeah, probably could use more water intake. Yeah.
Because you get like restless leg syndrome if you're dehydrated, right? Or
is that
Well,
what?
I think
I
it's
thought
headaches.
restless
It's
leg
more like
syndrome
headache,
was
yeah.
just sitting on your fat ass for
no,
so
no,
long.
no, no. That restless leg syndrome is actually
Yeah.
it's bad. My father-in-law has it. And he's the most active
No,
human
I
being
don't.
I've ever
No,
met
I
in
don't.
my life.
I think that's a medical condition.
It is a
I-
medical
I
condition.
don't
He has
have
to
that
take
one, yeah.
pills that it's horrible.
You
It's
can,
horrible.
you can cramp up with lack of hydration.
Yeah, but so not restless leg syndrome, but I think you can get antsy legs if you're not well hydrated or something like
Yeah,
that. right?
headaches like anything with dehydration.
Well, here I'll tell you.
Thirsty? You can get thirsty?
When my sister
That's
listens,
the first sign of
Yeah.
dehydration.
need water.
yeah, that's already too late. My dad would all he would drink is coffee and diet soda.
He never
Okay.
drank water.
You know why? You know why? This is funny. My sister can verify this. Next time she's on, he didn't like the taste of it. He would not
What about Kool-Aid?
drink
Interesting.
water.
Just feed him Kool-Aid. You should have fed
Yeah,
him.
but that's like 7 scoops of or 20 scoops of sugar on top of it.
Especially
All right.
if Mrs. Reamer made it.
Yeah. Teddy, lack of physical activity.
Yeah, probably overall. Yeah, I'd have to say that. I
Okay.
need to.
Skipping breakfast.
Yeah, I never. I rarely eat breakfast. Just coffee. I usually have the black coffee for breakfast, and I skip.
Black coffee
Yeah.
in bed.
Yeah.
Too much sugar.
No, I don't. I try to stay away from sugar. I try to stay away from that. So
Okay.
That's not it.
No self-care.
Nah, I wouldn't say. I don't know.
What do you
that
do
means.
for self-care? You don't know.
I comb my hair. I
how
took
can
a
you say-
shower.
but how can you
What's
say no?
self-care?
What is
though?
self-care?
What is that?
I
you
take
know what?
vitamins.
I-
I take supplements.
He looks good.
No. I think it's like an emotional thing too,
Oh,
right? Like, are
mental?
you emotionally dealing with your problems?
What, like fucking Jack Handy stuff?
No, I mean, do you have a friend who's constantly picking on you? Someone who's like always shitting
like
on
being, like being
you?
bullied,
Shut up,
like
Ted.
Cyberbullying, like cyberbullying. No, I don't have any of that problem. Yeah.
Okay,
I'm well loved.
and then
Yeah.
last
I'm well
one,
loved.
and these are all big. No sleep schedule.
Yeah, I grew up that way. I grew up in a house where there wasn't a regimented bedtime. So yeah, it was just like people wandering around at 9 at night, 12 at night. Even to this day, we got people up at all hours of the night. So yes, I never had a regimented sleep schedule. But I think I know what the problem is. It could be sleep apnea, because they basically say if you don't get enough oxygen, you always have that shallow breath, and you can never go into that deep delta sleep.
Yeah.
So that's why you get that CPAP mask. So I might go for a sleep study to just to verify that. But yeah,
will that be
it could
before
sleep
or
apnea.
after you join CrossFit?
I do have to flip some tires. That would be good. I need to get back to the gym.
Tires.
Climb some rope.
I will say this: when you say there's people up and about, like in your house, so you go to bed and there's other people awake.
Yeah,
dude, I can't. I sleep very well. I'm lucky. Okay,
yeah, jealous.
But I cannot sleep if I know that there's people awake in my house. Like when the boys are up, if they got friends over and shit, man, it's just like I can't relax.
Well, that's because they could always burn the place
I'm a
down.
light sleeper.
What time did we get home last night?
We were back in my house by 10:30.
I didn't go to bed until 3 in the morning.
Oof.
You know what? I don't believe that, because you say you didn't sleep, but I will tell you right now.
I physically closed my eyes at 3 in the morning.
So this weekend, here's the funny thing, right? So he talks about that, but you're actually asleep.
Yeah.
Like you went and you slept.
Yeah, I agree.
We got back.
I agree.
And while we were up having a couple beers, Teddy was passed out.
Yeah.
Are you a vacation sleeper? Maybe you sleep better on vacation.
Well, the first day when we got
he
into
sleeps
the
a
house,
lot more than he thinks.
Yeah, I do, but it's disjointed. Like I don't sleep consistently. It's like I'll sleep like 2 hours here, an hour there. Like for example, I think Matt had an alarm set, whatever time we were getting up, and I said, I guarantee you, I'll be up before that alarm. And sure enough, easily, like even I set an alarm, but yeah.
You want to hear this? This is fucking hilarious. So I set an alarm for like 6:15, whatever it is, right? Ted walks into the room yesterday, right? Opens the door and he goes, "It's 5:50 if you want to get up."
Oh, you're on Chicago time?
No, that was the time I was there. That was the time I was there.
That was like 25 minutes before I wanted to get up. And I'm like, no, I wanted to get up in 25 minutes from now. Thank you for waking me up. Like there's no reason that he had to wake me up early, because he's the one that made us late for every tea time we had. He's the one. We're leaving in 15 minutes. Teddy's sitting on the couch in his nasty old sweatpants, right, with a cup of coffee, and I go, Ted, we're literally leaving in 15 minutes. 30 minutes later, we left.
You're like a teenager.
No warm-up time. Yeah.
You are a teenager.
Yeah.
Wait, let me ask you this. After playing 54 holes of golf, how much warm-up time do you really need on day 3?
Well, he does.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you need warm-up
Yeah, he
time.
needs warm-up.
My apologies.
He's got to get there, yeah.
You want to putt a little. You
Yeah,
want to
of
get
course.
some
No, we
swings.
don't.
You want to
You do.
mentally relax.
He says we, but it's not you and I, Ted. It's him. Like, no.
It's the collective we.
Yeah.
Remember what I told you about putting? Here's a putter. There's a ball. There's the hole. Putt the ball into the hole.
I said,
what's the big deal?
no, put it in the fucking hole.
What's the big deal?
Wait, what? No, that's yeah, and then that's when Teddy is 9 putting. Yeah, I just man, I can't do
I'll
that.
do better next
I
time.
said, do you guys want to hear what I learned from bowling from a guy that owns a bowling alley?
Yes, I do.
Sure.
All right. So I'm going to come clean. I learned all this from a podcast. I was listening to a podcast, but it is about
Podcasts are stupid.
It's about a guy that
hate podcasts.
it's a proprietor of a old school bowling alley. The guy bought it in like 2010, and so the bowling alley is like it hasn't been updated since the 60s. So he updated the entire bowling alley. Except
What do you do? Just wash the walls?
no. He put a new an automated scoring system in, which costs like $250,000.
Yeah.
24 lanes, so new scoring system.
Yeah.
He upgraded the sound system, redecorated the whole interior.
He modernized it.
It. Spent $1 million. Modernized it. But the racks, the setting machines are still from the 60s.
The overground ball return where the ball, you can see the ball.
Those are
it's like
from
like Edison Park Lanes. You can see the ball coming.
Yeah. I would
cool.
assume so, but it's still from it's like from 1960s.
That would be the overground ball return.
So, dude, listen to this, Ted. You bowl. So, okay, so those old school pin setting machines,
right?
Take 21 pins. There's 21 pins in there.
Okay.
It costs $18 a pin.
Okay,
He's got to replace those like almost every other year.
That seems reasonable. I mean, they get chipped.
I don't know about every other year, but I mean, some of these new twister pins, they're actually like hardened plastic. I mean, they're very durable. So yeah, if it's an old-fashioned wooden pin, those could chip. But these newer ones are actually almost have like a plastic coating, or I mean, something really.
Well, I guess you have to use a pin that your machines are made to.
Yeah,
to
it has
set.
to pick. Yeah, so you'd almost have to replace the whole pin setter itself to pick up certain pins. But I think pins are pretty much uniform. I think a pin weighs like 3 pounds, 15 ounces. Yeah. It's a uniform pin. But yeah,
Welcome to Pin Talk.
So, but here's what I learned. So the machines that he has to set these pins are obsolete. Like the mechanics that used to work on these, the companies, they're extinct.
Yeah, like AMF.
They're gone.
Which is like,
They're gone.
yeah.
There's nobody
yeah,
knows how
of
to work on
course.
these machines anymore. So he has to have a full-time mechanic
Right.
that knows how to work
But
on
all
them.
but all bowling alleys usually have a full-time mechanic.
Not the newer ones. So not ones that like
Why
the
didn't he just replace that?
because it's like
Yeah, it would be like
He would put them out of business.
cost prohibitive. Yeah,
Yeah.
to replace that. Yeah. It's
so
like,
so the Boleros,
yeah.
like some of these Boleros, I think are going to that. Have you seen the pins with the strings?
No, I haven't seen that one. I'm sure. I'm
What,
sure there's
like,
some.
like the
listen to this.
shuffleboard bowling?
This is where I'm going. So it's been approved by the Bowling Association.
USBC, which
Yeah,
is like
it's
the
been
governing body.
approved.
It's like they're the
the
governing
system
body.
where you get rid of the whole pin setting system. They're fucking on strings, and it's so when you knock the pins down, the string pulls up the knockdown pins, and the other ones stay in place.
Like a marionette
how
puppet.
would-
I've actually
I
never
don't
seen.
know. I've never seen it.
I've never
I
seen
just
that.
heard about this on the podcast.
I don't think that would fly. I
It's-
think that would be.
If they said it, I mean,
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
and the other thing too is with this old style bowling alley, the floors are wooden.
sure.
So now all these newer bowling alleys, they're using melamine plastic for their floors.
Yeah. Okay.
So instead of using like an oil, it's like a wax, and they send out these like Roombas, right?
Are you talking about the lanes themselves, not
the
the
lanes.
floor?
I'm sorry, the lanes.
The surface
yes,
of the lanes.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
Surfaces of the lanes are made out of a type of plastic,
Yeah.
melamine plastic,
Okay.
and they get waxed
Yeah.
with not like traditional oil. It's a different type of wax.
Sure. Sure.
And they're all done with these like Roombas, basically.
Yeah, well, it's almost like so basically in the old days, they used to have a lane guy with an actual like mop and like a squeegee, basically manually oiling
Right.
the lanes. But now they said it's almost like a robot vacuum. It looks like a robot vacuum cleaner, and it actually goes from lane to lane.
And it's way more
and it's
less
pre- and
expensive
it's
to
pre-
keep.
and it's pre-programmed with a certain oil pattern. So basically,
Yep.
you can oil the lanes differently with a different pattern. Yeah, so you start on lane one, and I think once the guy sets it there, it oils the first lane. It actually goes here, and then it goes here, and it oils lane two, and
Yep.
it'll go through the whole house. Yeah.
So, and this guy he could spend up to $250 a day just oiling his lanes. So now this is where I'm getting with this lane thing. Okay,
Thank God.
Here's the question. So, with the new lanes and the new technology and the balls too, the balls are different than they've ever been.
Sure.
It's so much easier to bowl than it was in the past. So 50 years ago, guess how many amateur bowlers rolled a 300 a year? Each year, how many would you guess? Like 50 years ago, like say 1970s.
Minuscule compared to today. I would say. Well, here's a better question.
2%?
Here's a better question.
It's a number.
How many bowlers averaged 200 back in that day? Like legitimately.
All right, so I'm
averaged
going to say
200?
10,000.
800.
Eight-
50 years ago, 800 amateur bowlers rolled a 300 each.
Wait, you know why that's real? Because you remember we go into these bowling alleys, and up
Yes.
till about 20 years ago, 10, 15 years ago maybe, they had a wall of all their 300 bowlers.
Yeah.
And there was enough that
'Cause it was
just
rare.
the wall.
It was rare, yeah.
that the wall was never filled.
Yeah.
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 So guess how many today bowl a perfect game every year?
So wait, it was 800.
50, like in the 70s,
Okay.
about 800 amateur bowlers rolled a 300 each year.
I'm going to go 10,000 now.
50,000.
Sure.
And there's fewer bowlers than there's ever been.
Yeah. So I don't know
What?
how many.
Everybody's fatter and dumber.
I don't know.
That's-
So
isn't that what a
do you
bowler
know,
do?
So do you know what the current membership of, say, the USBC sanction? Because it has to be USB sanctioned. You have to have a USB sanctioned average.
No, I mean, the 300 is
No,
a
this is
300.
for
If we-
amateurs, yeah.
No, I'm
Wait,
saying,
if
but
the
if you-
three of us
Right,
go...
but it doesn't count. But there's no stats. So like if I
No,
if
That's
I
a
didn't have an
300
average,
game,
Right.
isn't it?
No, but it doesn't count for the stats. So like if I just came off the street and I
How
never
do you know it doesn't count for the stats?
What do you mean for the stats?
I'm just saying
These
if
stats?
if I never bowled in a league and I don't have a USBC confirmed average, just like if I didn't have a USGA handicap and I came in off the street and bowled a 300 game, they wouldn't put my name on the wall or nobody would know about it because it doesn't count for anything. So you actually have to be a member of a sanctioned league
Oh,
and have
I
a
don't
sa-
know
and have a
about that.
sanctioned
Okay,
have a sanctioned
you,
book average.
You could be right, but it seems like 50,000 would be even higher.
But they're
number.
all sanctioned. They're all sanctioned league bowlers because that's how they track those statistics.
But that would be even more ridiculous because that's fewer.
Well,
that's
look at-
probably only a third of all the
Well,
bowlers
look at the
in
league.
world.
Like I'll use the league I bowl in. I mean, so I think in the first like 2 or 3 weeks we already had like I think 300 games, a couple of 800 series, which is really difficult.
well, that's what they're saying. They're
that's
saying
averaging
bowling is it's easier to be a better bowler than ever.
There's I think 4 or 5 people.
That makes sense.
It
900
says because the way they because what
900,
Ted
900 series, which is
because it's
300.
the way Ted just said the way that they oil the lanes now.
Yeah.
The oil patterns are more conducive to
Yeah, well, here's the-
more
Consistent.
accurate,
Yeah.
consistent
No,
and accuracy. Actually, accuracy.
No, actually not actually. They make them easier. So here's the bottom line: when you bowl a league, in general, most leagues make an easier oil pattern, and the way they make that pattern easier for bowlers is they put a lot of oil in the middle, and they keep the ends dry. And what that does is, so if you miss, it increases your mistake room. So if I miss inside, the ball's going to hold and not
Yeah.
overhook. But if I miss outside, the lack of oil is going to cause the ball to hook back to the pocket. Now, a pro tournament or a difficult amateur tournament, they do the opposite. They make it really dry on the inside and make it oily on the outside, so that way if you miss inside or outside, the ball's just going to hook all over the place, and therefore it leads to lower scores. Because here's the bottom line. Guys or women want to shoot league, and yeah, they want to have big scores. People want to average 200. They don't want to come in there and average 140 and miss 5 pins. They want
Right.
to, they want to have a good time. So, and that's cool. But you know what get yourself into. But yeah, but when you bowl like an actual tournament, they're going to make the lanes a lot more difficult. So I guarantee you here's the bottom line: those bowlers averaging 200,
God, I want
220
to
in
kill
league.
myself.
30 bowling line,
Yeah.
bottom lines.
Who's ever bowling
I'm
league right now
sorry.
averaging 220? Chances are, if that same person went to a pro tournament, they'd probably average about 170.
All right.
So
Thank
I
God.
just want to get back on topic. I just want to finish this real quick.
Okay, please.
So this guy owns an independent bowling alley, 24 lanes. It's old school. Bolero's buying all these places up, and the interesting thing is, Bolero bought all the
AMF,
AMF
yeah.
and all the
Brunswick. Yep.
zones. So Bolero's buying all these alleys up, and they don't give a fuck about bowling. They're updating them and putting all this technology
Laser
in them, so it
tag.
makes them cheaper. But they're also eliminating lanes because they make 50% of their revenue is based on food, beverage, and other
parties,
stuff.
Yeah, birthday parties, yeah.
Food and beverage,
Yeah.
food and beverage alone.
Well, it's entertainment now.
They're serving lamb at Bolero.
Yeah, it's entertainment.
They are.
they're not.
Yes, they are. They
Shut
have.
up.
They do. They have lamb on the menu. They have like $15 cocktails. Bolero is making 50%
wait.
of their revenues from food and beverage. Bolero's making their revenue is over $1 billion a year for their bowling
It's
alley.
almost as good as the Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah.
Oh, which by the way I found out. I heard the Girl Scouts sell 200 million boxes a year.
Yeah.
That's how they
I
get
bought
those
two
numbers.
when we were in Arizona.
you were part. You contributed.
200 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were saying they're 800 million.
They make 800. Yeah. So here's the funny thing. I bought 2 boxes. I girl out right outside the bar, right outside the pizza place. So I go, I'll take 2 by $5 each.
Yeah, so
I
they
have
are
some
like
drinks
$5.
in me.
Yeah.
I got some drinks in me. So I'm like, yeah, I'll take
Some?
2. I got 2 boxes.
Okay.
Yeah. And I hand her a 20, and she doesn't do anything. She goes,
Oh,
she
no.
goes, why don't you just get 2 more, and I can keep the 20.
Nice.
And I look at her mom, and I go like this. I go, are you in charge of the money? Can I just get my $10 before I decide I don't want to do this?
Yeah, I want a refund.
Open up the
Wow.
box. Open up the box. There's 15 cookies.
How many there used to be?
I don't know, man, but it's mostly plastic. Yeah, it's mostly plastic, and there's very few cookies. The
screws and
space in
washers?
between
Yeah,
cookies is like, I don't know how big the box is, but the space in between cookies is about 2 inches in between each
Dude,
cookie.
that's why they're making 800 million.
Yeah, because there's no fucking cookies in the Girl Scout cookies.
And that's got that $800 million. If the number I read was true, that they sell 200 million boxes a year, which is basically 1 box for every adult in America. If that number is true, that means that's their like net. Because if they're selling for $6 a box, the numbers don't jive.
Mine was
$10 a box.
Mine was $5
Oh,
a box.
$5 a box. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
I'm not, if she
no,
said
but-
$10.
So
I would've
$5
just-
a box, the numbers don't jive because that's $1 billion, right?
You mean they're lying about how much
No.
money they
What
make
I'm
so they
saying
don't
is that
pay
800
taxes
million
on
is
it?
actually what they're fucking netting. I mean, what they're
I mean, maybe they're discounting some.
but
of
they're
the
probably doing that
older,
because they're making
broken
less
boxes.
cookies, like you just said.
Yeah.
There's
Oh,
only-
it's probably great. Yeah, it's
yeah,
probably a great
That's
deal,
why they're
right?
making so much.
Yeah, I mean, when you buy a bag of chips and you open it up, it's only half a bag of chips, right?
Right.
You open it up and you're like, pfft, and you look and you're like, oh, why is the bag so big? I don't understand this.
You got to have room for the air, man.
But can't you just have just a little bit of air? I mean, air is no good. Why would you have more
I
air?
think they would all be busted up, right? If it was a tight bag.
I have no idea. Do we have more bowling we have to talk about?
No.
Oh, thank God. Fucking A. Yeah, that was really difficult. All right, got a question for you guys. Worst allergy you could possibly have? Think about that for a second.
Peanut allergy.
Yeah,
Not even fucking, not even
Oh,
remotely.
allergic to water. That's a real one.
Oh, that is.
People who are, that's actually
Yes.
a medical condition.
He
People are
nailed
allergic
it.
to
You
water.
nailed it. Yeah, that
You
is.
nailed it, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Allergic to water.
Like your dad.
But that's not even. That's not. That's
no,
not
I'm
a
talking
percentage.
about outside. I'm talking.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I'm reading this article.
That's a very, very
You
rare
ready?
thing.
There are
That would suck.
documented 37 people on the planet that suffer from aquagenic urticaria.
Yeah.
And that is basically being allergic to water. So I
On a
I have to-
planet that's 90% water.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I have to look it up. I think it's 70% water, isn't it?
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Well, now
Yeah.
the ice thing.
Polar caps are
So
melting.
I look it up, and I find an article about this woman who suffers from aquagenic urticaria. Ooh, that was actually easier to say than I thought. And she's talking about, number one, her skin burns, right? So so from age 12 up
yeah.
till now, it's gotten progressively worse, right?
Yeah.
So her skin burns. So she had to go through high school and college, barely being able to clean herself, right? And all the stuff that goes along with that,
Yeah.
right? Trying to fit in,
Yeah.
and trying to do all this stuff, so I'm starting to think, what's the worst allergy in the world, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't get worse than that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what it is. The human body's 90% water, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
You're-
but here's the thing. So she can drink the water, but it can't. She basically has to like.
A straw.
It has
Not
to
even
like
a
go
straw.
down her throat almost.
almost like a G tube. Almost like a G tube down your
Yeah.
throat too.
Yeah. It has to
without
like
touching
hit
anything.
the back of her thing. Now,
Yeah.
here's what's even worse. She can't go outside when it's raining.
What if she urinates?
I guess you'd miss, don't you? I mean, you don't piss on your leg, do you? Well, I don't know what you do. But no, it's the
Well,
outside. It's her skin. It's her skin.
Oh, okay.
It's not on the inside, right? She has to worry about all that kind of stuff you would think about. Here's the one I didn't think about at all that freaked me out. She can't sweat. That's part of it.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah, if she sweats. So
I was
people
close,
were saying
bodily fluids.
yeah. So people were saying, "Oh, she just lives in a really dry area," but most of those are really hot.
Yeah.
So she can't sweat.
Well, she'd have to live in almost somewhere Arizona where it's a dry heat. She could never live in like Florida or somewhere where it's humid. And
Yeah.
what about the other one? Remember the Bubble Boy? He couldn't like be outside that
Moops.
little.
Well, that was a Seinfeld episode.
No, but there's actually a documented case like a boy. He was like in a plastic bubble and he couldn't step onto the air.
John Travolta.
I was
Yeah,
just going to
but
say
that's a medical condition too, right? That's an actual medical.
Yeah, but I don't think
condition.
it's not an allergy, is it?
that was my movie mention.
Well, yeah, he must be.
today.
He's allergic
No,
to the
it's
air.
not.
He's
The
allergic.
boy in the plastic bubble.
Yeah, he's allergic to. Obviously, he's allergic to the atmosphere. That's why he's in the bubble. He has to be in a controlled environment.
Oh, then that's the worst of all
You
time.
can't
yeah,
leave-
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. If you can't leave it out the bubble, and the only thing you do is play Trivial Pursuit against George Costanza,
Or what-
that
or
would be the worst.
Or what
day
if you're
of your
allergic to both at the same time? I mean, Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
No, it was so weird because they talked about in the article some of the things and like, oh, you think this is bad, you think that's bad, and I was just like, those are bad. I'm like, where are they going with this? Yeah. So that
Yeah.
that's just kind of wild.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
crazy.
I mean, people who suffer from different things, man, just remember. You could be one of 37 people on the planet,
Yeah,
and
it's
of course, this is funny. So I read the article, right, and of course, there's like 6,000 comments.
Yeah.
And of course, the first 5 comments are, well, come on, couldn't you just do this or
Oh,
couldn't you
geez,
just do
yeah.
that? I was like, yeah, you know what? She never fucking thought of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, her whole life is kind of like this cool thing, but she's kind of probably miserable at doing
Yeah.
certain things.
Yeah.
She never thought of doing that.
I know.
Yeah.
That's what I was just going to say.
Yeah. Every
yeah,
asshole in the
everyone,
world.
Yeah,
is an
everyone's
expert.
got an opinion
Yeah.
like it wasn't already thought out by the person that's suffering.
Right. They haven't tried anything,
Right.
any of those things. Yep. Hey, have you tried sitting down? I'm going to cut your fucking legs off. Yeah. Yeah. So I thought that was, dude, I just.
Somebody tells me to go see a doctor one more fucking time. You know, the podcast I learned that bowling stuff on is a guy named Zach Crockett, and it's called The Economics of Everyday Things. They're like literally like 13-minute long episodes.
Okay.
It's just like but half the episode is like advertising, right? That's where he makes his money, I guess.
Sure.
But
how
the
they-
economics
I
of
don't
everyday things. This
Talk
guy,
about bowling alleys. I mean, I don't care how much advertising there is.
did-
I
no,
just
it
pass out
it
cold.
wasn't just bowling alley. It was fucking interesting.
Did you say
Okay.
a friend of the folks who were staying at has their own podcast and he's like he talks to himself on a TikTok or something like that? Or
Yeah. He's actually, I guess this kid, they showed me the stuff. It's just one of these things where he does these, I don't know, man. He's got like 2 million followers and he's making a shitload of money. But
What?
I just didn't think it was very entertaining. It's one of those things where it's a
The
guy
TikTok
who
thing?
talks to him. Yeah, it's a guy who talks to himself. It's like he's both the
I've
characters.
seen it. Yeah, that's all over the place.
Yeah. They
There's
do
a
it.
million people on TikTok doing that.
Yeah, it's just not.
It's
It's
made
not.
it to
It's not
Instagram
entertaining.
now. I
Yeah,
know,
it's
I
not
know.
entertaining. It's
Oh,
not
I
really
fucking
funny.
hate it.
They're
I
fucking
hate
annoying.
it.
Yeah, they're annoying as
There's
shit.
literally a million people doing this on Instagram now too.
Yeah. And it might be on Instagram, yeah, but I didn't think it
Well,
was
no,
very-
they are on Instagram too. They just cross feed it. But
Yeah, I thought it was really shitty. All right, before we get to Mark's movie mentions, I would like to mention my newest. I think this guy's a fucking douchebag, Jason Kelsey.
I don't talk about that article though.
The dick thing.
Yeah, what a scumbag for fucking talking about shit like that.
Yeah. So
Honest to God, I mean, how? That's what I'm talking about, Ted. When I say dumb jocks, that's a dumb jock
Well-
fucking thing.
So here, let me just do this. So during his speech or whatever he did, he got permission
His
allegedly
retirement speech.
Retirement speech. He got permission allegedly from Nick Foles to tell. I mean, and listen, if you're Nick Foles
Yeah,
and
that-
you're going to
that's
hear
good.
this
That's
part,
good. That's good for
I'm going to
him.
tell
Yeah.
the whole world,
Yeah.
right? But he got permission from Nick Foles to tell everybody that they called Nick Foles in the locker room Big Dick Nick because he had a huge slong. Okay, and I gotta be 100% honest with you. Basically, from the time, I mean, I'm sick of the Kelseys. I'm sick of the whole fucking thing.
I'm
But
sick
that's
of all-
cool.
I'm sick
I
of
can
all
just
of them,
ignore it.
Yeah.
But this guy, he just seems like a classless.
Well, he's an imbecile.
He's an imbecile. He's a
Imbecile.
moron. He's a
Yeah.
dumb jack. He's an idiot. He just,
Yeah.
I don't know what the
Yeah.
fuck. Who wants to hear?
The shirt off thing at the
I mean,
playoff games,
Yeah.
It's a
all that other
moron.
stuff. He just looks like a drunken fucking
they
idiot.
make him sound like a hero, and the only reason why, because his brother, who's obviously on a Super Bowl winning
Obviously
team,
better.
is dating
Yeah.
one of the most popular people in the world. So just by being existing and just happen to win the genetic lottery that's his brother, everything this guy says is like national news. But in reality, he's a schmuck who who if he just disappeared tomorrow, nobody would like he's an offensive lineman. He doesn't do anything.
He is offensive.
No, but yeah.
And a lineman.
Yeah.
He's an offensive lineman. But here's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
He's the guy whose brother is better than him at sports and is better at picking girls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right? I mean,
Well,
and
I
so,
don't know.
so
he
has
seems
to,
like he's happily married.
there's no way. There's no way anybody's
He's married
happy.
with kids, isn't he?
Yeah,
think
there's
he's-
no way anybody's happy
Well, she's-
with that.
I mean,
with that stupidity.
Birds of a feather flock together. I mean, I'm sure she knows who he is.
So she walks around with her shirt off, picking
No,
up little
but she-
kids and
she knew
talking
what she
about her
was getting
friends'
into.
vaginas.
Does she talk about what girlfriend has the biggest vajayjay?
Yeah.
out there?
No, you know what? Here's the problem. It was probably
It's huge.
before nobody
Catherine's
gave a
huge.
shit.
It's huge.
Think
It's
about
like
that.
it's like a cavern.
Before Travis Kelce won all those Super Bowls, Jason Kelce was nothing. He was just an
I
offensive
never
lineman.
heard of
Nobody
him.
gave
No,
a
he
shit
did
about
win
it.
a Super
I never
Bowl,
heard of
though.
him.
Right.
He was
but
instrumental.
he's a lineman
I
Super
know.
Bowl.
Yeah.
He's not famous until his brother is wildly successful in dating.
Correct. We don't know any other
Taylor
offensive
Swift.
lineman that won a Super Bowl.
Nope. You know why? Because the
Besides the
brothers aren't
Bears.
dating the hottest chick on the planet.
Right.
No. Yeah. So it blew
So
my mind.
what is his title now?
Big Dick Nick.
No, Kelsey.
He's just a buffoon. The buffoon of
what's
the year.
The bit you're doing. What did you name it?
No, it was an actual article.
The douchebag.
Yeah.
Yeah, the world's biggest douchebag.
Yeah, the world's biggest douchebag.
Yeah.
That's his title.
Yeah, the
Yes.
world's big. So I did not confirm this with him, but I believe it's okay if I say it.
Yeah.
The world's biggest douchebag.
Yeah, and we're gonna make up
Yeah.
T-shirts with his likeness on it.
Yeah, but on the back it's got to be Big Dick
Oh,
Nick.
I guess some.
How cool
I'm
is that?
friends
The
with
whole
Big
world,
Dick Nick.
the whole world now knows. But by the way, something that's a locker room thing, which seems like it should stay in the locker room. Now the whole world. I mean, you tell me Nick Foles isn't walking around everywhere he goes. You're like, hey, it's Nick Foles. He goes, you goddamn right I am.
Yeah, I think he's out of
Of
high
course-
school
of
now.
course
He's
he-
out of high school.
of course
now,
he gave
so
him
it's not as
That's
big a
not
deal
a
to
thing.
him as you.
Of course, he gave him permission to say that.
Yeah.
I think
I don't
it's a
know.
bigger
I mean,
deal to you.
I mean, I don't know. It'd be kind of cool if everybody.
I mean, so on a side note, I guess some
Sure, his wife enjoys it.
some
Yeah,
social media influencer kind of made it like a negative comment about Travis Kelce. Basically, called him a peacock. You know
Travis Kelce? No, he's
what that,
really
no,
good.
I'm sorry, Jason. Yeah, Travis
Jason
Kelce.
Kelce.
Yeah, but you know what a peacock is?
Yeah, it's a bird that doesn't fly or can fly,
No,
but not real.
But I guess as it pertains to him,
I didn't know it could
Basically a
fly.
flightless bird.
basically, like Taylor Swift is a peacock and he's a peacock. What that means is that they both need to be the center of attention at all times.
Yeah.
And then so she just basically put that on social media. So of course, Travis Kelce's father, came to his emotional rescue, saying, how can you say such things? But
Who cares what's one person?
yeah.
random
But it's just
person
funny how.
says?
But I'm saying how that like sets him off. It's like
Yeah,
any
a
type of
peacock, I
negative.
like that.
Any type of negative.
Wait a minute. Travis Kelce is awesome. He's the
is.
best tight end in the league.
Right.
He's going to be in the fucking Hall
I
of
thought you
Fame.
were talking about the other Kelsey.
No, he was talking about. He's talking
I'm
about.
I'm talking about Travis, but I'm saying like
Yeah.
not just his football, but when he's out in public. Like,
Oh, no, Ted's right. Yeah,
has
he
to
does.
Be,
He has
to
to be
the
the center of
has to be the center of
attention.
attention. He's got to be the guy that
But he is.
grabs the microphone.
But
No,
that's like
off
saying-
the field. He's
But that's like
He's
saying
the center of
Michael
attention.
Jordan. That's like
Yeah.
saying Michael Jordan can't be cool because he has to be laid back. He's the best tight end in the game. He gets
Yeah.
to be whatever he wants to be.
Yeah. I think
he's
he was-
dating the hot. He's dating the most popular human at this point.
Yeah.
on the planet.
No, the comment was you got two people who are basically need to be the center of attention at all times. So that influencer was just basically commenting that it would be interesting to see if this works out because you got two basically you got an alpha female and an alpha male together, and they both need to have all the attention to them. And so that's the whole comment. That's all.
what's
it
an
was.
alpha female?
Taylor Swift. It's just
No, there's another word for it because you got alpha male. and then
Omega.
there's-
Omega.
Beta? I don't know. Doesn't it sound like she's secondary? I mean, I don't like that. I don't really
Probably
like
Omega,
that part.
Omega.
I forgot what it is.
It's
but
Omega.
yeah.
Yeah, I have no idea. All
You're
right.
Greek, Ted. You should know this stuff.
Yeah, so I said Omega.
Oh, because he knows. Every Greek person knows all the Greek Greek numbers.
We know all the other Greek people, right? All Greek people
Greek
know all
alphabet?
Greek.
They're your cousin. It's your cousin.
Hey, wait, which one of them owns the restaurant?
All of them.
All right, are you ready for Mark's movie mentions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Ted, you're ready?
Yeah, I'm prepared. I'm mentally prepared to accept
what's
your
going
movie
on?
mention.
Okay.
Okay, I didn't know Ted had a bit in this. Okay, it's time for Mark's movie mentions. Winner of the prestigious Rutherford B. Hayes Award for Mediocrity, and now available in prisons throughout the Balkans.
Nice. I went to high school at Rutherford.
At Rutherford B. Hayes High.
I went to high school with him.
One of the
You
more
went to,
one of the more obscure presidents,
Well, he's a
Yeah.
Gordon guy. He's a Gordon guy. I didn't go to high school with him, but he's a Gordon guy.
along with like Franklin Pierce and Warren Harding.
All right. So the movie I want to mention is actually very personal to me. All right.
All right.
so wait, does that eliminate me from making fun of
No,
it?
absolutely not.
Okay, excellent.
No, absolutely not.
Then
Because it's
please
not. It's
continue.
not personal in that way. I'm a big movie guy, and back in the day, this was a movie that was like fucking great to me. Came out in 1994. It's titled Clerks.
Oh, I love Clerks.
Kevin Smith's first movie, right? 92 minutes long. He made it on his own money, maxed out his credit cards. Budget was $27,575.
Wow.
Box office $4.4 million.
Wow.
Not bad. Made him a star
Real good.
overnight.
Was Jay and Silent Bob? Was he?
Yeah.
He did that and that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That came out after this, obviously.
Right, but they did those characters in that movie.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, he played Silent Bob, and then Jay Muse played. Jay. So as everybody knows who Kevin Smith is by now, right? Mallrats, Chasing Amy, Dogma, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. He's a big podcaster. He's got like 4 different podcasts. He owns a comic book store in New Jersey with Jay. He's a big Q&A guy. He does all these speaking engagements, Q&As. But the movie is Clerks, and it's basically a day in the life themed movie, akin to kind of like Do the Right Thing, Spike Lee, who he liked. It's set in and around a convenience store and a video store that are next to each other. It revolves around the lead character Dante, who's having to work his day off. So there's a lot of there's a lot packed into the 92-minute film. That's the best part, all the antics and shit that goes on, and he's not even supposed to be working that day. The dialogue is packed with so much funny perspective from characters that are just like everyday people on subjects like sex, relationships. They talk about Star Wars, which was fucking awesome. The stories, they just tell stories and gossip about others. It's great. There's a lot of stuff that goes on, but it's really a movie about, a day in the life of this clerk at a convenience store. Oddly enough, ironically, everybody knows about Kevin Smith. You can look him up, but that's the store he worked at while he was filming this movie. So he worked at that convenience store and the video store next door.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so he was working there during the day, and they had to film at night when they closed. And they made the movie like in 30 days.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, he worked in that store. He was like 23 years old when he did this. He'd been working at the store since he was 19. He left and went to film school in Toronto for like 6 months, dropped out and said, I got this. I'm going to make the movie now. Went back to work at the convenience store, and at night they filmed the movie.
Yeah, that's
It was
pretty cool.
fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was. Oh, everything was at night
Well, no, it wasn't.
except the things during the day. Yeah.
No, like the outside stuff was filmed. Everything indoors was filmed at night, but you couldn't tell because the shutters are down in the store. So that happened. Remember at the very beginning, he goes to open the shutters, but there was somebody locked gum in it. It was like, fuck it.
Oh yeah.
So that was the explanation why the windows were all shuttered.
Yeah, you know what's funny? Look at the opposite. So basically, he took a budget of $27,000, turned it into $4 million. What's the opposite of that? Like a movie like Waterworld with like Kevin Costner. He spent like $50 million
Well, you could never
to
make that
it,
money,
and
yeah.
I think he made like $2 million. It was like the biggest flop at the box office. So think of the opposite movies where they spent like a ton. Or what's another movie where
that was
the budget was
you know
like
what?
outrageous.
That was like Mad Waterworld was they tried to do Mad Max in water.
Yeah.
That's all they tried to do because they had all the weird shit that they wore and all that kind of stupid shit.
No, but Ted's right. This is
post-world apocalypse, all that bullshit.
Yeah, Ted's right because the Clerks is like the quintessential independent film of modern history. I mean, this is a guy that made this film for $27,000 bucks,
that's really
his
good.
own money.
Yeah.
Filmed it in a fucking convenience store that he worked in.
It's hilarious.
And it's
No
and
special effects, no avatars,
absolutely not.
no
It's
dinosaurs.
extremely well done. It's extremely well done, and it is very funny.
Yeah.
I'm going to read something that Michael Wilmington wrote about it in '94 because this movie's personal to me because I was like 21 when I saw this. I saw this at Piper's Alley when it came out. In fact, this is the only movie that I could honestly say that I paid full price to see twice in the theater. All the other movies I've seen a million times in the theaters over and over again were the 50-cent second run movies we went with friends over and over again.
Right.
But this movie I went and saw again at Piper's Alley. One of my good friends is like a filmmaker, and we were totally into this movie. But he said, let's see, Clerks in some ways is the movie equivalent of a garage band rock album.
I could see that.
I mean, that's a pretty, it's like somebody making an album in their garage and it becoming a big hit, right? But the biggest surprise is how ingenious Smith and his tiny band of actors and technicians work within their limitations and exploit their own restrictions, i.e., they had to film at night, so they had to make it look like it was day by having the shutters shuttered, So it's really ingenious the way they did this.
That is so funny now that I think about it.
Yeah. So it's basically a typical working day class. Stuff happens, stuff falls apart, life goes on.
It's relatable.
Sadly or comically. That's what Michael Wilmington said in the Tribune back in '94. It's such a good review of this. I had to go back.
It's relatable. People
it
work
is, and
service
it
jobs.
is.
Oh, it super is.
And then there's a bunch of like hilarious fucking over the top shit that happens in the movie. It's 92 minutes long.
Yeah, but it's all believable. We're the opposite, like
it is,
like a water world. None of that's believable. Like got Kevin Costner dressed like he's an American Indian. On the water. Yeah,
right.
No one would believe that shit. Because in the real world he'd be dead in about 20 seconds. Right? He's not some hero who's going to navigate.
Ted,
through.
you always bring that up. Like there's dinosaurs. No,
Yeah.
There's no dinosaurs now, so it's not believable.
Or like Jurassic
you
Park.
have the inability, the complete total inability to suspend disbelief.
I love it.
Like Jurassic
You're
Park,
right.
like where Sam Elliott's talking, or Sam Neill, whoever the star of the Jurassic Park, he's talking. He's like going to somehow outsmart 3 velociraptors who aren't going to tear him to pieces
No,
in
it's
like
Chris
5
Pratt.
seconds. Oh yeah,
Chris
yeah.
Pratt.
Chris Pratt. Yeah.
In like Jurassic Park 6, whatever it is.
Somehow.
he's now learned to talk to
They trained him. He trained
a
him, yeah.
killing machine with a peanut brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A
Just by
reptilian
waving
brain,
his arm.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
Just by waving his arm.
And it didn't take that little prehensile claw and like completely split him open.
Here, and I'll, go ahead,
So,
finish up.
No, I'm done. So Clerks, 1994. If you have not seen Clerks and you've seen the other movies, go back and watch Clerks.
Oh, yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
I mean, and actually, a lot of later movies have a lot of stuff from Clerks in it.
They do.
Other actors. I mean, but the movie Clerks it's well done. It's fucking hilarious. I mean,
It is, and it's a great beginning movie to watch, and then watch all the other ones that take the bits and pieces. Because I would tell you right now, watch Jay and Silent Bob, but don't watch that until you watch Clerks.
Yeah, or I mean, there's
kinda sets it
Mallrats came out. Mallrats came out
Oh,
the
yeah.
year after this. So this was '94, and he made Mallrats like a year later. And then Chasing Amy with Ben Affleck, and I forgot the actress's name.
I know that. So
She's so hot.
I worked at a video store when Chasing Amy came out, and I will tell you right now, I don't remember what her name is, but man, there was a lot of fist action. Dude, I'm telling you, man, there's something about her.
Dogma too. Dogma was really good. But
Well, I'm not a big Dogma fan.
yeah, well, that was Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. I think were in that. Right?
Yeah,
I had
just
seen that, but-
honestly, there was not a lot of Ben Affleck that I can stomach.
yeah. Clerks, 1994, Kevin Smith movie. Go see it, man. I recommend it. My mention. I mentioned.
Yeah, no, it is highly, highly good. All right, man,
That's what it is. Highly good. I'm sorry. That's what I meant to say. Highly
Highly
good.
acceptable.
highly good. All right, I want you to think about this because I'm gonna talk about this, and I want you to just listen really carefully to all the things that I say. Okay, a pilot. He's from Georgia. He's working in the UK. I believe he's flying out of Ireland. Okay, he goes into work that day, and he goes through security. He's got a bag, and as they scan the bag, they happen to notice that there's 2 bottles of Jägermeister in the bag.
Just carry on.
He's the pilot.
Yeah.
He's just walking into work, right? So he has to go through security. Everybody has to go through security. And they notice that one of the bottles is half empty. Okay, so, I mean, you're going through security, you're a pilot, and immediately they stop him. They have to stop him,
Yeah,
right?
of course.
Okay, so they have to stop him, and they're like, hey, you got a half-empty bottle. And
Well,
then
it's an open bottle of alcohol.
It's an open bottle of alcohol
Yeah.
that he has. So he's got 2. One's closed.
I know.
One's half drank. And they kind of start to talk to him, and they notice that he's kind of slurring his speech, and he seems like he might be inebriated. Okay, which is kind of weird. So I guess they have a thing where
No, Jaeger does that to you.
they will
Half a
It's,
bottle.
it's,
though.
it's 100 proof.
Yeah.
a
So
shot.
so they have a process. No, I did not know this. If they even believe that, if they believe anything, they can pull you off and they can give you an immediate test to see if you are drunk right there.
Yeah, it's
Right?
within their rights, the law.
Okay,
yeah.
right. So they pull him out and he does the sobriety test. And at this point now, and I want you to listen to this because this is really important. When they test him, he's 2.5 times the legal limit for a pilot to fly. Did you catch that part?
Yeah, for a pilot to fly.
For a pilot to fly, not like legally drunk or anything. I did not know this, so I had to look it up. There is literally a number for you that you can be right up to, but legally be able to fly a commercial
But is it
airline.
okay? So blood alcohol level.
Yeah.
You're talking about just from drinking alcohol, because isn't there something where
Whatever it is,
I mean, what
there
if
is a blood alcohol
I
level.
had 2 pieces of tiramisu? It could no. I mean, like if you eat something that can raise your at any given moment you could have like, I don't know, 0.2.
0.02.
No,
Yeah,
0.02.
Yeah.
If you're
No,
0.2, you're dead.
Yeah, 0.2.
I mean, so, yeah,
0.08
I'm
is
sorry,
the legal limit in
Point
Illinois.
0.08 is the legal limit. So like 0.02.
In Illinois, yeah.
From eating tiramisu.
I don't know. I mean, what can you put in your body that can raise your alcohol level for a test? There's got to be more than just drinking beer or drinking whiskey.
alcohol-filled candies, for example.
I don't know. I mean, some of that stuff. Well,
maraschino,
some of the
cherry
stuff
soaked
that
in-
you
Take-
cook.
Take a guess at how many little rum candies you would have to
I'm
eat.
not talking about rum. I don't know.
But I
so
mean,
anyway,
but-
yeah, it is.
yeah.
It is kind of ridiculous that there's even a.
Yeah.
It should be 0.0.
It should be zero, right? It should be no alcohol whatsoever. And I just thought that was the weirdest thing in the world.
But
when
what
they
about the
said
guys
that.
really flying the plane up in the tower? Can they be drunk?
Oh, you're talking about the
Air
air
traffic controllers.
Yeah.
I have no
They're
idea.
the ones flying the planes.
I didn't even look that up.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a legal limit to what you can blow in a test or whatever. If they drew blood, I don't even
Do you
remember
know what
it
it
was.
is?
I didn't. You know what?
The guys in the tower actually have to go through the same thing. They cannot show up. Like they get tested too, like firemen or police officers.
Man, I'm glad they didn't test me today. Yeah.
Well, you're not in the tower today.
I'm glad they didn't test me when I walked into work because I'm pretty sure 80% of my body is after 5 days straight of heavy drinking.
Yeah, Catholic school is fine.
Oh, yeah.
Public
It's like a
school, no.
priest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Ah,
It's just like this. Are you drunker than the priest? Nope. All right, you're good.
you're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, but that blew my fucking mind.
Yeah.
And this guy is,
Finally,
Yeah, this
something
guy-
that blew your mind again.
yeah, this guy is totally fucked. Yeah.
Obviously.
So he's
Oh,
gonna
man.
lose his license for like 6 months.
So you know
He's
what?
got to go fly for JetBlue.
That's Spirit. Yeah, you got to go
Spirit, he's gotta
fly
go
for
fly for Spirit.
Spirit Airlines. You're forced to. You can't even quit. Right? It's Spirit Airlines or jail, and then you have to
Or
decide.
Dubai
what you
Airlines.
want.
They don't care.
Do they?
I don't know.
Why are you making fun of Dubai? No, that's got to be.
The Saudis don't give a fuck.
What do you mean? They give more of a fuck. You can't go to Dubai and just drink.
Yeah, you're right. There's no alcohol there, right?
No, there is. There is lots. Yeah, there's lots of weird shit that happens.
But
You just
no,
have to do it
not,
in the right
there's
place.
only in the right place. Yeah.
Yeah. You just have
Yeah.
to do it in the right place, and you can't just like you can't walk around like if you
Yeah.
walk out of a place and you're drunk and you don't like get in a car and leave,
Yeah.
and they see you publicly intoxicated, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird dichotomy there, but yeah, they're getting better at it. But yeah, I mean, it's just such a weird thing to think about that there's a limit. It's like and think about how many guys
And it's not zero.
right,
Yeah.
but think about how many guys are just like bam, beat you. I'll be seeing my 747, motherfucker. Yeah.
We're gonna have to take that bottle.
Oh wait, can I just say
Wait, do you have the little ones on the plane?
Yeah. Wait a minute. Why would he? That makes sense. Why would he have to bring his own?
Well,
That's
I-
fucking dumb. He could have just.
Well, he didn't want to leave it where he was leaving. He probably
could've
wanted to
just
bring
put
it
in his
home with him.
car.
Well, plus, Jägermeister is like very pungent. Like I hate it. I hate like it's like Rumpelminster or
It's like
Goldschlager.
root beer, right?
Yeah, no, it's like
No.
very pungent, and it's like 100 proof. It's not even like like say Jack Daniels is 80 proof. Rumpelminster is like 100 proof, or
I don't know
Jägermeister is
anything
100
about
proof.
Oh, we used to drink
Yeah.
a lot of Jaeger.
Jaeger's 100
Did
proof.
you?
Yeah,
I think it tastes like root beer to me.
yeah. It's like syrupy. Yeah,
it's
it's that
more
syrupy
like a-
liqueur. Yeah.
Yeah. No interest in that shit
Yeah.
whatsoever. Never.
There is a
never,
root beer
never.
schnapps that we used to drink
Yeah.
too. When we were
Oh God, that was man. I hated doing that.
Root beer
I was never a
schnapps.
schnapps fan.
Yeah, no, I don't like that. I don't like that. What's the stuff with the gold?
Goldschlager.
Goldschlager.
Yeah.
I don't like any of that stuff. Yeah, it's just not my thing. Yeah, you know what? I'm not.
It's not your bag, baby. Yeah.
Wait, it literally says Austin Powers. Dick
This-
pumps.
yeah.
That's my bag, baby. All right. Have you guys ever been to Bangkok, Thailand?
Ted has.
I've been within 7 hours of Bangkok, but never set foot in Thailand. So I've not.
One night.
One night in Bangkok makes a hard man humble. All right. If you went last weekend, you would have seen something amazing. And I'm talking about what's the most amazing thing you've ever seen?
In Bangkok?
No, anywhere. Like something you just walked in and you're just like, holy shit. And
In person.
in person. I've never seen anything like this before. This is the most amazing thing I've ever
think I
seen.
saw
The
so-
locker room for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Big Dick Nick.
Probably like a solar eclipse or something, or that's pretty freaky to see that.
A solar eclipse.
Yeah.
Okay, I can top that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
I'll
all right.
tell you what I saw. So on the same note, I just saw this last summer. Freaked us out. We didn't know what it was. In Chicago, in my backyard, looking southwest, flying over the horizon, satellites being launched into outer space. Not outer space, but in space.
It's outer space.
Probably a weather balloon.
No, they were satellites. There was like
Wait, not launched from here.
no. They do all the launching from I think it's New Mexico or Arizona somewhere, but it was it was flying in a pattern. They were all in a row. They were all lights, dude. It freaked us out. I'm like, Kelly, are you seeing this? She's like, yes. We're watching it for like 5
I
minutes.
thought it was a UFO, right?
Well, no, because it was like there's like 50 of them in a row, like a snake across the sky. So we're watching this. We're like, what the fuck is that? So I immediately go in and Google it, and it happens a lot. But it was a launch. It was like a launch season. Satellites. There's so many up there. They launched them. I mean, I learned more about this when we went on a tour of Valpo, the engineering school. But anyway, yeah, it was a satellite launch.
Really?
Yeah.
And they launched 50 at a time.
There was at least 50, at least, and they were just like
Why do we not have a satellite?
orange lights. We could do it. Anybody can launch a satellite up into space. You just have to get. It's like a nominal fee, and you can launch one. I talked to this professor that has like 10 of them up there.
Oh, you got to hook us up.
Dude, he's amazing. He's at Valpo University, Professor Dan White. He's unbelievable.
Dude, we are getting him on, and we are going to figure out how for a nominal fee. And a nominal fee to me is
He's
$50.
an introvert.
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
Okay, all he
Dude,
has to
it
do
was
is tell us
amazing.
how I can put
Well,
$50 together.
if you're,
and put a
they
satellite.
have them up there. They have students up there. They track them and everything. You have to
Wait,
pay.
we need
You know who
interns.
launches them?
We need interns.
Guess who you pay to launch them?
students.
Who's that?
SpaceX.
Okay.
I knew you were going to say that.
I swear to God.
I knew you were going to say that.
But you have to, because they have to launch it for you. You can't launch it, so you pay them. Man, I wish I remembered the
I got
dollar
a pretty
amount.
big backyard.
The dollar amount. No, you don't have the
Do you have
technology.
the propulsion system to get it up
But
there?
you
I don't
pay
have
him-
the technology, but I can build it.
So you
faster,
build
stronger.
it, and then they'll launch it up there for you. And you pay them a fee, and then that's it. Once it's up there, it's up there, and you can monitor it and everything.
I'm sure the fee has got to be at least 50.
No, it was no.
dollars.
It's not that much.
Okay.
No, it was not.
I have that. I'm willing to spend $50,000 to have my own satellite. What can I do with it?
Well,
I can't do anything with it.
no.
Fuck.
It's like buying land on Mars, right? Or land on, I think.
Oh, I own on the
somebody
good side.
Yeah,
I own-
somebody. I think somebody in EB was trying to sell like land on the moon.
Well, that's the big thing. That's what SpaceX. That's why NASA's trying to get there next before the Chinese.
And the Russians, yeah, probably.
No, because
I don't think the Russians can afford to do shit right now. They don't even have anybody they can send up there. They send it like an 8-year-old. Everybody else is
no,
dead or
because the
fighting.
South Pole. They think that there's water. They pretty much know there's water in the South Pole.
of
So
the moon.
yeah, that's the South Pole.
Oh.
So
We have a South Pole.
we have a North Pole.
That's where Santa lives.
They're calling it. Yeah, I'm sorry. They have the South
South
Pole.
Pole's
of the
where
moon.
anti-Santa
So
lives.
they know that there's water. They think there's water in the South Pole, and they're
Yeah.
worried that the next expedition that goes up there, if China gets up there
It's gonna
first,
claim it.
they're going to claim it, and like
Yeah.
nobody else can fucking go here again. It's going to start a war. But the
Wait a
U.S.
minute. I've never heard that before.
Yeah, but the U.S. won't do that. The U.S. is going to go up there.
Oh, we'll share it
Yeah,
because we're
that's-
so much better than the Chinese, Ted. Let's be
well,
100%.
I'm just
how
saying,
How
I'm
you gonna
playing-
enforce that? How can you enforce that even?
Well, I mean, We're talking about.
Ted, most good sci-fi movies literally start with a war on the moon.
Would you put anything past the government of China?
No, but I mean, you have to.
Are you fucking
you'd have to have
like
a
they're worse than we are?
You'd have to have a
No,
perma-
I'm saying.
You'd have to
Well,
have
yeah,
a
they are
you have to
worse
have
than
a
we are.
permanent
What
guard-
are
you
you
have-
saying,
You have a
dude?
permanent guard station on the moon where somebody just watches it. Yeah, so I'm just
No,
saying.
but they could
yeah.
potentially start shooting shit down if we launch
could you
it towards
imagine
the
this?
moon.
Could you imagine, honey? I'm not going to be back for about 7 years. Where are you going?
If you,
I
if
got
you're
a
sitting
guard
here
on
right
the
now,
moon. Oh, that's bullshit.
If you're
You've
gonna
used
tell
that
me-
one before.
if you're gonna tell me right now, is that your Chinese voice?
No, that's my naggy woman.
It's your
voice.
Marge
Yeah,
Simpson.
yeah.
Well, that's what you use for everybody.
That's why
But if
every
you're sitting
woman-
here right now
every
telling
woman
me that the Chinese government, not the people of China, but the government, the communist regime that is controlling the
Wait,
country
will
of China,
the moon be communist?
you're telling me that they're not capable of doing something so crazy that they get up there and say, "This is ours now. Nobody can be up here." That's absolutely agenda.
I mean, anything's possible.
that's
of course.
Well, that's
Yeah.
exactly what the whole world is afraid of.
Yeah.
The whole world's afraid that China's going to take over the moon.
Well,
The good part.
the space part of the world, everyone's fighting to get up there first because they don't want China to get up there.
We've already been up there. When did they come up with water? I've never even heard of this before.
Yeah, they think there's water in the South Pole.
This is something the American government is doing to try to trick the Chinese into getting up there on the moon, and then we just take over China.
Well, they're on pace to get there before us. Next.
We've already been there.
Oh, you
We
dick,
could
haven't
go to
been
the moon
there-
tomorrow.
We haven't been on the moon in 60 years.
But it's probably a good move.
50 years.
Yeah,
No,
but
we could go tomorrow. We've
No,
got-
we cannot go tomorrow.
Think
It's
of
not
all-
real. You can't get there.
Think of all the resources the Chinese
I
would have
could.
to use to, let's just say they're right. So they think there's something valuable there. So they're going to spend a lot of time and money to try to mine this resource. And I don't know how they're going to monetize it, right? So let's just say they find like a hidden reserve of water on the moon. I mean, obviously it's useless up there, right? So they have to somehow get it back here. So I'm just saying that would take time and money. So actually, that's a good move. That's kind of
Ted,
spreads them thin and diverts their
Can I
attention.
just say this?
Yeah.
Can I say this? Pipeline.
No, but we can't go. Yeah,
Like
we can't.
like the Keystone Pipeline?
You can't go. Nobody can go to the moon tomorrow if they decided to. The U.S. has been trying to get to the moon for the past 10 years. SpaceX has a contract to send astronauts up to the moon, and the contract says that they got to have the capability. First of all, you got to trust that it's going to make it. So they've been working on this.
Wait a minute.
It's true, man.
We
China,
went to the moon, and Tom Hanks came back when one of the guys was sick. I saw this.
I know,
That was in the 60s.
I know we've been there before, but it takes a lot to get back there. So
How long does it take to get to the moon?
That's
a
bullshit.
good question.
We probably.
Well, Neil Armstrong. When
a
was,
day,
when,
day and a
when-
half
No,
at
when was
best.
the when
Are
was the
you out
lunar
of your
landing?
mind?
When was the lunar
Yes,
landing?
I am.
1969.
Okay, so we got to the moon in 1969, and now
We
it's
could go back
2023.
tomorrow. I think you're wrong. I'm just. You might be right. What I'm
Why
saying
would I
is,
be wrong? I'm not making this up. They've been trying. If we could have been there already with real people right now, they would have already.
What's preventing us from going back there?
Just it's cost prohibitive. There's
Elon
not-
Musk.
Okay.
With this water, we can beat the Chinese. I don't understand this. If we're in a fight with them, why wouldn't we spend here? I'll just do this. All the money we send to everywhere else, just send it to the moon instead.
Well, let me make this
or
clear.
make more money.
There hasn't been people on the moon. We've sent stuff up to the moon since then, but there hasn't been people like astronauts get up there
Yeah.
and get off and
so
walk
we're
around
just-
on the moon.
What do we send to the moon?
Well, we sent cameras, bots, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like
lunar-
like
yeah,
the Mars. What we have
The Mars
Well,
rover.
can't we just park
rover.
our bot like right there and say, America bot? Thank
Okay,
you.
Let's change the subject.
All right. So those are the two coolest things you've seen.
That satellite thing this summer was amazing.
I'm going to blow you away. Last weekend in Bangkok, Thailand, okay,
Thailand.
there was literally a gang war of Filipino ladyboys and Thai ladyboys,
Ooh.
sex workers,
I'd like to see that one.
that literally had a full-on brawl in the streets, cops, whole thing, fighting over an area of Thailand as sex workers,
yeah.
like a little brawl.
Yeah.
Like a gang war?
Like a gang
So
war.
instead of like drug turf, this is like
Sex turf.
Prostitute turf?
blowjob turf.
Yeah, yeah. I want you to think about this. There were large numbers of Thai
Lady
sex
boys,
workers,
lady
ladyboys,
yeah.
and Filipino ones, and they literally had a fight.
Did you say like Thai lady boys?
Yeah, you know what a lady
Is that
boy
like
right?
a-
It's a man.
It's
that,
a man.
That not
It's a man, baby.
Yeah,
So
it's
it's
a-
different than like satay or pad thai or.
Completely
food. That's the
different.
food, yeah.
These are people.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah, so
oh,
it's,
okay.
it's a biological male who dresses like a woman, and I guess they're so good at it. I don't think they do like gender reassignment, but they're so good at it that you literally cannot tell
until the last minute.
Until they're like disrobed. Yeah, because that's how good they are.
minute.
Yeah, like you
Yeah.
really he looks like a
Yeah.
And I
biological
guess like a
female.
really tough tuck there.
Yeah, and I guess there's a big sex worker area there, and I guess they just went crazy, and they had a full on.
Who's the customers?
almost like a 15-hour brawl.
They had the
I guess
day off.
Who's the
yeah,
customers?
cops got their people got their asses kicked.
Yeah.
There was a whole bunch of crazy shit.
Yeah, I would like to see that.
I want to see some
That would
cell
be-
phone footage of
Yes,
this.
that would be the greatest thing.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
That's it. Yeah, but I guess it was completely and totally awesome.
Yeah,
And I guess it's kind of still going on. It kind of stopped, and then it just kept going. So it's been going on for a couple of days now. But the big one, there was almost like 20 hours of fighting.
wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So my question is, who? It must
Yeah,
be a
dudes
desirable.
in dresses
it must,
just
it,
kicking
mu-
the
it must
shit out
be
of
a
each other.
desirable area. So I'm just saying, who's their audience? Or like who's their customer base that it's so valuable to?
Ted, I'm
Because-
guessing
because-
that it's got to be lucrative, right? You're not fighting over one guy. It's not
See,
80
now
people.
I
Right.
can't stop thinking
But
of that
the-
Frankie Goes to Hollywood
But the
song.
point is,
Stuck in my head.
if we know they're dudes, then obviously their customer base knows it's dudes too.
I
Correct?
mean, I think they.
Oh, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think.
Yeah,
anybody-
It's
I
a
don't think they're
man, baby.
I don't think they're fooling anybody. Everyone's okay with it.
Yeah, I think
Not everyone.
No, I mean, I think they're totally fine with
Yeah,
it. But yeah,
sure.
so they are literally having a gang war,
Yeah,
and I was just thinking, man,
a cat fight.
That would be
It's a cat fight.
That
Oh,
would
it's
be
Murray Head that sings that song.
that would be the greatest thing I could ever.
Can we play it?
I
think
have
there's
no idea.
I think it's copyright infringement.
Nah,
if we
fuck
can
it, play it. Who cares? Who cares? Are you playing One Night in Bangkok? Oh, I love that song.
Fucking great song,
Dude,
man.
that is what that's like Amadeus.
One hit wonder.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
One
Yeah,
hit wonder.
Amadeus.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I saw the
Falco.
video. I saw
Falco.
the MTV
Right?
music video. For
Falco
that.
did
I don't even
Rock
know.
Me Amadeus.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Just like the dumbest thing that you could possibly sing about.
Bismarcky, she's just a friend.
Oh,
I like Bismarcky.
Bismarcky was
he's dressed,
awesome.
He's dressed as Beethoven.
God
Yeah,
rest
but-
his soul.
Yeah. Oh, he's dead. I'm sorry.
yeah.
Oh.
Oh, he was a fat ass, right? He was one of the fat boys, wasn't he?
No,
Bismarcky.
no. He was not.
Are you
He was a
sure?
beatbox guy, though.
Are
No,
you
Bismarck.
sure?
I'm positive. Bismarcky was good friends with the Beastie
I
Boys.
think he was his own.
He did
artist. I
some.
don't-
No, he was. Yeah, he was really
I don't think
good.
he was affiliated.
He wasn't in the Fat Boys. Believe me, he wasn't that fat, dude. He was a big guy,
He
but
doesn't
he
have to be fat. You don't have to necessarily be fat to
Well,
be in
those
the Fat
guys
Boys.
were. Yeah.
PHAT.
Yeah.
No, it's FAT.
Sorry about that.
All right. All right. I just wanted to leave that final thought. That's why the last thing I wanted to think about is
That's
that.
a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let that sink in your head.
Boys
as
and
you-
girls
as you wait.
fighting.
Boys and boys
Yeah,
fighting.
boys,
I think
yeah.
boys and boys.
Yeah, boys as girls fighting.
Yeah, yeah.
I think that'd be so.
That would be a great song. Someone needs to write that song.
Boys as girls fight. Hold on.
Yeah.
All right, got it for next week. All right, let's wrap this thing up. Teddy, you get to go first. Last thoughts, my friend.
Man, it's good to be back in Chicago. The funny thing, the weather is pretty damn nice compared to what it should be at this
No,
time
wait.
of year.
What was it like in Arizona weather-wise for you guys?
It
Because we
was
were talking about it on the
75,
show.
75 and
Perfect.
sunny
I
every
told
day.
you. So
Perfect.
okay, so I feel vindicated. Remember,
Absolutely
you guys were
perfect.
Debbie Downers on the last show, like, "Oh, the weather here is going to be nicer than it is in Arizona."
No,
We're
I
going
never
to
said
blah,
that.
blah." And I
Ted-
told
Ted
you,
said
I
that.
might have intimated.
yeah, and
that,
I said it's going to. I said this.
Nope.
You guys are in for a treat.
Yeah, no, I have a wicked sunburn.
I know
It's
you
awesome.
look tan. Yeah,
Dude, I love it, man. I love being tan. Yeah, I wish I could have played at least 1 or 2 rounds.
What was your final thought, Ted? I'm sorry.
shirtless?
my final thought was I enjoyed Arizona, and I enjoyed hearing about the Ladyboy turf war. So,
Ladyboy Turf.
I'm gonna
War.
have to. I'm gonna
That's
have
a
to
great
use that.
song.
Yeah.
You know what? That's the name of my new band, Ladyboy Turf War. Yeah. All right, Marquise.
Well,
last.
I'm glad that Ted and I pulled the wool over Matt's eyes today doing our bowling talk thing. He said would never happen.
Yeah, he was a little.
So
He was a little.
he didn't know. He didn't know what
he
to
was
do.
a little-
Oh yeah, you could talk
He
about
was a little.
bowling.
He was a little
He
discombobulated.
forgot all about that. We are not talking about chess. We're not doing bowling talk ever again. We did the whole
Yeah, he-
fucking thing on
He
bowling.
got a little discombobulated
Yeah.
during that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And hopefully the ratings still count as everyone up till that point turned off our podcast.
Well,
or
we got a little
fast-forwarded
off
through
tangent.
bowling.
We got a little bit off of topic, but
Oh, when Ted went heavy bowling talk.
Where he went? You went somewhere with this.
I'll tell you
I
right
was
now,
like,
in 1935,
I
all
was
the
Dark place.
All right, last thoughts here. We are going to be guest intensive the next couple weeks. Okay, Dr. Philip Messmer next week from the World Poetry Slam. And if you don't know anything about World Poetry Slam, it is not what you think it is. I'm telling you right now. If you want to check it out, check out some of the videos. It is hardcore, man, and I'm telling you, it is hardcore crazy. In a couple weeks, we are going to have a man who will be in the Guinness Book of World Records very soon, and he's going to be here talking about hot peppers. And Mark is gonna make us some food, and we're going to eat hot sauce that was sent to us. And Ted is going to be a very unhappy, toilety. I feel like this is going to be one of the few times we're going to have to edit for either that or give Teddy like a toilet seat, like a little kid's toilet seat.
A lot of water.
Yeah. And then we got a bunch of other things coming up. Yeah, real guest intensive. It's going to be a blast. Keep listening. Keep joining us on TikTok and Instagram. And
I'll go to our website. It's updated once a week now.
Oh yeah, I love the website.
Website's great. Yeah, yeah.
Website is absolutely hilarious. And we will see everybody next week.